Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Hare Krishna. So we have discussed till verse number 23. Now I'll go to verse number 24. Till now we have discussed the glories of penances performed by Brahmaji. So what are the special features of the austerities performed by Brahmaji? Non-deceptive. What else? Amog Darshan, which is faultless vision. What did that mean? Faultless vision?
He's seeing the instructions and the form of Lord like
same. Very good. What else? Submissive and devotional attitude. Yes. And what else? Determination. Yes. Yeah. What else?
Very much
Faithful to the Lord, and it was for the pleasure of the Lord. Okay, so Lord was very, very pleased. Although he didn't perform for so long, but Lord is saying you performed austerity for so long. And his Lord is saying this austerity is my heart and soul. Okay, so if we perform the process of Krishna consciousness nicely, this process is heart and soul of Krishna. Bhakti Devi is the Sarup Shakti of the Lord. Okay, it's the heart and soul of the Lord. So that's how we can also please the Lord. And Prabhupada is saying if we follow in the footsteps of Brahmaji, we can also have the darshan of the Lord's abode also and Lord also. Right? So now Lord is speaking with Brahmaji. So this 24th verse. It's a very interesting verse. Now the next section of this 9th chapter is very interesting. We will come across the 4 Bhagavatam verses also. So it will be a lot of discussion. I don't know how much time we'll have. So I need all of your blessings and full attention also. Okay, let's try our best. Srijami tap sevedam grasami tapasa puna vibharmi tapsa veshyam viryam veduscharam tapaha. Yes, please.
I create this cosmos by such finances. I maintain it by the same energy. And I withdraw it by the same energy. Therefore, the potential power is finance only.
Yeah, very interesting verse. Lord says, I also create by penance, same energy. That's which the energy by which you are having my darshan, by energy which you will create. Same energy I also create, I also destroy, I also maintain. So this potential power is penance only. How to understand this? You see, when the fifth to seventh chapters, when Narad Muni is speaking with Brahmaji, and Narad Muni is saying, it completely appears that you are the cause of all causes, but only one thing is there which creates some confusion. What is that? You are also meditating. You are performing some tapasya. So that means also there is someone superior to you. But here Lord is also saying, I also perform tapasya. I am getting the power to create by tapasya only. So how to understand that He is the cause of all causes? Similarly, Prabhupada also quotes, there was one philosopher from Germany. He came to India in search of who is the supreme God. And when he saw Krishna, he said, yes, he must be the God, because he is not holding any weapons with him. He is not performing anything. He is just enjoying with his consort. So how to understand this? What is this tapasya? Okay. So first we'll read Prabhupada's purport and then we'll discuss. Yeah.
In executing finance, one must be determined to return home, back to Godhead, and must decide to undergo all types of tribulation for that end. Even for material prosperity, name and fame, one has to undergo severe types of finance. Otherwise, no one can become an important figure in the material world. Why then are there severe types of finance for the perfection of devotional service? In easygoing life and attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. The Lord is more clever than any living entity. Therefore, He wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. The order is received from Lord either directly or through the bona fide spiritual master, and to execute that order, however painstaking, is a severe types of finance. One who follows the principle rigidly is sure to achieve success in attaining the Lord's mercy.
Yeah, very powerful purport. And easygoing life and attainment of perfection, transcendental realization cannot go together. Our process is easy, but it's not easy going. The Prabhupada says the Krishna consciousness is so simple that we may miss it. And it is very simple. You just chant, that's all. Chant attentively, that's it. Just chant. But we take it very lightly also. Prabhu, Hari Bol, Nityan Prabhu is very merciful. Hari Bol, पहुंच जाएंगे Bhagavatam, Jai ho, और निताई की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय. Yes, they are very merciful. But they expect something from us also. So we don't take it very seriously. So process is easy, but it requires sincere application. That is our austerity. Day in, day out, we have to be very sincere in our application. We should not take it lightly. Okay? It's not easy going. And Prabhupada, at one place, Prabhupada said, success is guaranteed for rigid practitioners. If you're practicing it rigidly, success is guaranteed. Success is not there by my practices. By my practices, I'll attract mercy. Prabhupada is writing, one who follows this principle rigidly is sure to achieve success in attaining the Lord's mercy. Success will come by mercy. We all are mercy cases only. We should not be proud of our sadhana. Sometimes we get pride out of our sadhana also. I am the sadhak number 1 in my temple, I am the best chanter. So I am the best morning program and number 1 sadhak. Sometimes we get pride, subtle pride due to our sadhana also. So we should never be proud of our sadhana. This sadhana is just to attract the mercy. Okay? Like in mathematics we say necessary condition and sufficient condition. Sadhana, performing sadhana is necessary condition, but it's not sufficient condition. Mercy is necessary and sufficient. So by performing sadhana, it's just like a man is drowning in the river and doesn't know how to swim. He's saying, help, help, help. So person standing on the bank of the river, he knows swimming. So it is up to him. He can jump in the river and save me. I am dependent on his mercy. But I'll attract his attention, his mercy by crying. He may or may not jump in the river. So our chanting, our sadhana is just a crying for help. Okay? So we need to draw the attention of the Lord to His mercy. Right? Now, what is the mercy Lord is performing? This hint is being given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, The Lord is saying this potential power is penance only, and this power of penance is, Vishwanath Thakur saying, Lord is performing the austerity of detachment. What is the detachment? Lord is knowing that I am creating this, and next moment I have to destroy it. If I know I am creating something and I have to destroy it, I won't do it perfectly. But still, Lord does the creation perfectly, maintenance also perfectly. Despite knowing in my next breath it will be destroyed. Yasya nishvasat nakalam atfalam ved jivanti log milja jagdandanatha. Just in one breath, it will be, millions of universes will come out, and when he inhales, everything will be annihilated. He knows that perfectly, but still he does the perfect creation and perfect maintenance. And for whom he is creating this? For us rebellious souls. And he also knows that 99.99% of the rebellious souls won't come back. That track record is very bad. Still again the Lord is giving chance. This is detachment. If we know, if we are working upon our some counselor or a mentee, and he is continuously behaving like this, we'll give him up. क्या है इसके लिए मैं इतना तामझाम क्या करूं, अपने आप को एक्सपेंशन करूं फिर, there is no need of Karanodakshay Vishnu, no need of Garbhodakshay Vishnu, no need of Shirodakshay Vishnu, no need of this material creation. Lord is enjoying. इनमें से किसी ने नहीं सुधरना, रहने दो उनको ऐसे And Lord is so merciful, He is giving again and again chance. This is this detachment, this is austerity. Like in Bhagavad Gita also, 9.5, he says, Pashyame Yoga Aishwaryam. What is that verse? First verse is, Maya tadam idam sarvam jagata vyakta murtina masthani bhutani nacha. Next, nache mastani bhutani pashyame yogam aishwaram. Bhut bircha bhutatma yayatma bhuta bhavana. So earlier he is saying I am everywhere, then he is saying I am not everywhere. So in the next verse explains, he gives a simile of sky and wind. As the wind is, sky is all pervading and wind is there in the sky, but the sky remains detached. Then the Acharya explained, Krishna is saying it is my mystic opulence. Then what is mysticism about this? You are giving an example, we can understand the sky remains detached from the wind. But the mysticism is this, the sky is animate. Sky is not animate, sky is just like a matter. There is no consciousness, but Krishna is fully conscious. Still he remains completely detached. Understood? Okay, so that is his opulence also, and that is his austerity also. So that is his austerity of detachment. Yeah.
Similar one conflict was there in text number 7.
Yeah.
In the purpose of Prabhupada is writing, just like Brahma got initiated directly by the Lord.
Yeah.
Similarly, we also can be initiated by the Lord directly.
Yeah.
And later on, the next paragraph is saying that Brahma was fortunate to get initiated by the Lord, but we have to take center of parampara.
Yeah.
And get initiated.
Yeah, so the first statement was generic statement. If one can become so pure, then we can also become Brahma, and then we can get directly initiated by him. First is a generic statement that Lord is available for everyone. And we are also getting inspiration from Super Soul, but we normally neglect it. But if we become very pure, we can have direct communication with Supreme Soul also. Okay. Right? Should we move ahead? Okay. Now Brahma starts speaking. Brahma vacha Bhagavan sarvabhutanam adhyaksho vasthito gruham vedahi pratiruddhena pragyanena chikeshitam. Yes.
Lord Brahma said, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart. As the Supreme Director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by your superior intelligence, without any hindrance whatsoever.
Okay. So he says, Lord says, okay, ask for some benediction. He says, what should I ask? You know everything. Bhagavan Sarva Bhutanam Adhyaksho Avasito Goyam. You are the Supreme Director of all the living entities, and you residing in their heart. Vedahi api pratiruddhena pragyanena chikirshitam. You know, Vedahi apratiruddhena pragyanena. Pragyanena means your super intelligence, apratiruddhena, without hindrance. Your intelligence is never impaired. Your intelligence is always working. Krishna knows the past, present, and future of all living entities, and you never forget. One of the functions of the intelligence is memory. So Krishna never forgets. One of the name of Krishna is Achyut. Krishna never forgets. We may forget our desires. Sometimes we forget, I have to do that. We forget. But Krishna as a super soul never forgets. In fact, he reminds us, you have to fulfill your desires. So you are the Adhyaksha of everyone, and you are situated in the heart of everyone. So why you are asking me? Okay. So Prabhupada is writing very nice example. Prabhupada is saying, Lord is situated in the first paragraph. Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the witness, and as such is the supreme director of sanction. The director is not the enjoyer of the fruits of action. For without the Lord's sanction, no one can enjoy. For example, in a prohibited area, a habituated drunkard puts forward his application to the director for drinking. And the director, considering his case, sanctions only a certain amount of liquor for drinking. Similarly, the whole material world is full of many drunkards in the sense that each and every one of living entity has something in his mind to enjoy, and everyone desires the fulfillment of desires very strongly. The Almighty Lord, being very kind to the living entity as a father is kind to the son, fulfills the living entity's desire for his childish satisfaction. With such desires in mind, the living entity does not actually enjoy, but he serves the bodily whims unnecessarily without profit. The drunkard does not deserve any profit out of drinking, but because he has become a servant of the drinking habit and does not wish to get out of it, the merciful Lord gives him all facilities to fulfill such desires. Okay? That way. So last paragraph. The Lord, as a super soul in the heart of every living being, knows what is in the mind of each living entity, and no one can do anything without the knowledge of the Lord within. By his superior intelligence, the Lord gives everyone the chance to fulfill his desire to the fullest extent, and the resultant reaction is also avoided by the Lord. Okay? So Brahmaji says you are knowing everything. Still, Brahmaji will put forward his 4 requests, which will be answered in the 4 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay? तथापि नाथ मानस्य नाथ नाथाय नाथितम परावरे यथा रूपे जानीयाम ते त्वरूपिणाम. Yeah.
In spite of that, my Lord, I am praying to you to kindly fulfill my desire. May I please be informed how, in spite of your transcendental form, you assume the mundane form, although you have no such form at all.
So the first question, Brahmaji is putting that Tathapi, in spite of that, although you know everything, still I am asking you, Nath Manasya, of the one who is asking for Nath, O Lord, Nathai, please award Nathitam as it is desired. So one word is being used so nicely. Nath Manasya, Nath Nathai, Nathitam. What is the desired? Paravare yatha rupe janiyam teva arupinam. I want to know about your spiritual and material forms. Okay? This is the question. Okay? Because Parikshit Maharaj had asked, I want to know the difference between the form of the Lord and form of the Jiva. Okay? And now form of the Lord, Brahma is more specifying the questions. I want to know your material forms as well as spiritual forms. Okay? Para avare yatha rupe. Para means spiritual, transcendental, and avare means in the matter of mundane and transcendental. Avare means mundane. Okay? So in the both forms I want to know. Right? This is the first question. 27th. Yathatma maya yogena nana shakti upavritam vilumpana visyajan grahan vibhrada atmanam atmanam. Yes.
And please inform me how you, by your own self, manifest different energies for annihilation, generation, acceptance, and maintenance by combination and permutation.
Yeah. So, how do you do creation? You know, what is that? Visrajan is generation, Grahan is maintenance, Vibhrata is maintenance, and Vilumpanan is annihilation. You know? Vilumpan, Visrajan, Grahan, Vibhrata, Atmanam, Atmana. So how do you do that? Okay, Atmana is self. Okay, like how do you create, maintain, and destroy this material creation? At the same time, Vishnu Thakur is explaining Yathatma Maya Yogena. The Maya Yogen means he is asking in one sentence the 2 questions. How your Mahamaya acts or how your Yog Maya acts. Or that means how do you perform activities in the spiritual world also? Or how in the material world you take incarnations, you perform pastimes. So both way. Right? So Prabhupada will clarify it later in the purport. Okay? 28th verse. Kridasya amoga sankalpa varanirabhirya yuthornute tatha did vishyam dehi manishana mai madhava. Yes.
O Master of all energies, please tell me philosophically all about them. You play like a spider that covers itself by its own energy, and your determination is infallible.
Kridasi. So you play with your energies. Okay? You play with your Mahamaya by creating it, maintaining it, and destroying it. You play with your Yoga Maya by performing pastime with your devotees. So I want to know both. Okay? In the third canto, you will study that is material creation is kind of a Ras Leela. Garbhodakshai Vishnu is performing with Mahamaya. It is also Srishti Leela is like the Ras Leela. Okay? So we are taking part in Ras Leela only of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Now we can take part in the Ras Leela of Krishna also in the Golok Dham. So Kridasi, you play. How do you play? Like a spider. When Narad Muni was talking with Brahma, he also gave him the example of spider. The spider is independent in creating his web through his saliva and wind it up also. All other insects get trapped in the spider, that web, but spider himself, though in the web, but is not entrapped. Okay? So this is an example. Okay? So Master of Energies, please tell me philosophically all about them. Okay? So the first question, Brahmaji was asking what?
Your material form.
Material and spiritual forms. That will be answered in the first verse of Chatushloki Bhagavatam, verse 33. Okay? And second question I was asking was, how your different energies act? Mahamaya and Yogamaya. The third question is asking how you interact with Mahamaya and Yogamaya. How you play with Mahamaya and Yogamaya. So this will be answered in the third verse. Okay? Now fourth. Bhagavad Shikshitam aham karvani hi atandrita nehamana praja sargam badhyeyam yadanugrahat. Yes.
Please tell me so that I may be taught in the matter by the instruction of the personality of Godhead, and may thus act instrumentally to generate living entities without being conditioned by such activities.
Yes. So, Bhagavad Shikshitam, as instructed by you, aham karvani hi atandrita, I am acting. Atandrita, Prabhupada is translating, I should act as an instrument. Okay. Other meaning of atandrita means without laziness. Okay. Tandra means laziness. No? In the episode of Madhavendra Puri, if you remember, when the Gopal had brought milk for him, so Madhavendra Puri, after taking milk, then Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami said he got tandra, little sleep, little nap. Okay. So atandrita means no laziness, no sleep. So I may perform the activities which you have told me without laziness, that is without being influenced by mode of ignorance. Nehamana prajasargam, and when I am generating the living entities, I should not be influenced by mode of passion. Okay. So when I say, because mode of passion means ragi phala param prepsa, mode of passion means fruitive activities, desire for results, okay, claiming the credit. So when I say, Prabhu, no, don't consider yourself as the doer, then response will be, okay, मैं करता ही नहीं यार, आप संभालो फिर. यही होता है ना. प्रभु थोड़ा डिटैच हो, आप ही संभालो फिर, no? Then we go to mode of ignorance. Okay, so Brahma is praying, I should be saved from both these modes. They are very prominent. I mean, mode of passion is pravarti, and mode of ignorance is aprakashecha apravarticha. In darkness and not performing any activity. Like karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phal hetubhu ma to sangasta akarmani. The last point is this only. Don't give up the activity. But normally we give up the activity if you are told not to enjoy the fruits of the activity. So Brahmaji is saying, no, I should be saved from both. That means I should work in mode of goodness. Mode of goodness is what? Prakashe cha pravarti cha. There is activity also, there is enlightenment also. Right? So I should act as your instrument without being influenced by mode of passion and ignorance. Clear? Right?
You told the meaning of Atanta as without listeners, and one other meaning here is given instrumentally.
Instrumental, yes. Yeah. Both. Okay. Clear? What are the 4 questions Brahmaji is asking? 4 requests.
Material forms and spiritual
Manamama, your spiritual form and material forms.
forms of
How your Mahamaya and Yogamaya acts. Number. How you play with Mahamaya and Yogamaya. And 4th, I should act as your instrument without being affected by mode of passion and ignorance. Right? Okay. So Prabhupada is in the purport. Brahmaji does not want to become a speculator dependent on the strength of his personal knowledge and conditioned to material bondage. Everyone should know in clear consciousness that one is in the execution of all activities an instrument. A conditioned soul is instrumental in the hands of external energy, Gurumaya Maya or illusory energy of the Lord, and in the liberated stage, living entity is instrument to the will of the personality of Godhead directly. Okay? To be instrumental to the direct will of the Lord is natural constitution of living entity, whereas to an instrument in the hands of illusory energy of the Lord is a material bondage for the living entity. Okay? Now we have to change it. Last line, Lord Brahma wanted to be saved from the pitfall of pride, although he was posted in the most exalted position within the universe. Okay? Now, 30th, he is winding up his request. Yavat sakha sakhyuriveshta karta praja visarge vibhajami bhojanam aviklasta parikarmani sthito mame samunanda madoya manina. Yes.
Oh my Lord, the unborn,
Unborn.
shaking hands with me just as a friend does with a friend, as if equal in position. I shall be engaged in the creation of different types of living entities, and I shall be occupied in your service. I shall have no perturbation, but I pray that all this may not give rise to pride, as if I were the Supreme.
Yeah, so Prabhu, you have treated me like a friend, you have shaken hands with me, so now I am requesting that I should not consider myself as a doer, and I should always remain as your instrument.
here, like Prabhupada is writing second hands.
Yeah.
It seems to be like it's for us, or it is exactly happened. Whether this exactly happened that Lord.
Yeah, Kar Sparsh, Lord touched his hand. So we are shaking hands like.
Or that it's like tie up between.
Like this only. Well, chalo, karo, don't worry, I am with you. Like this. Yeah. We are together, don't worry. I am the primary creator, you will be secondary creator. I am with you. Like this. Not like this, kaise hai, no. Okay. Yeah. So, Prabhupada is writing in between, 4-5 lines down. A pure devotee may be related with Lord in any one of the transcendental humors, even in the humor of parenthood. But the devotee of Lord is always a transcendental servitor. No one is equal to or greater than the Lord. That is the version of Bhagavad Gita. Brahmaji, although eternally related with the Lord in the transcendental humor of friendship, and although entrusted with the most exalted post of creating different grades of living entities, is still conscious of his position that he is neither the Supreme Lord nor supremely powerful. So we should always remind ourselves this. It is possible that some extremely powerful personality within or without the universe may sometimes show more power than the Lord himself. Still, the pure devotees know that this power is vibhuti delegated by the Lord, and such a delegated, powerful living entity is never independent. Shri Hanumanji crossed the Indian Ocean by jumping over the sea, and Lord Shri Ramchandra engaged him in marching over the bridge. But this does not mean that Hanumanji was more powerful than the Lord. Sometimes the Lord gives extraordinary power to his devotees, but the devotees knows always that the power belongs to the personality of Godhead, and the devotee is only an instrument. The pure devotee is never puffed up in the like the non-devotee class of men who falsely thinks that they are God. Okay. So this is very important lesson. We should always remind ourselves. Okay. Okay. Second last paragraph. Can you please read? Last two paragraphs. Factually,
Lord Brahma does not create the living entities. In the beginning of the creation, he is empowered to give different bodily shapes to the living entities according to their work during the previous millennium. Brahmaji's duty is just to wake the living entities from their slumber and to engage them in their proper duty. The different grades of living entities are not created by Brahmaji by his capricious whims, but he is entrusted with the task of giving the living entities different grades of bodies so that they can work accordingly. And still he is conscious that he is only instrumental, so that he may not think of himself as a supreme powerful Lord. Devotees of the Lord are engaged in the specific duty offered by the Lord, and such duties are successfully carried out without hindrance because they are ordained by the Lord. The credit for success goes not to the doer but to the Lord. But persons with a poor fund of knowledge take the credit for success into their own accounts and give nothing to the account of the Lord. That is the symptom of the non-devotee class of men.
yeah, so we should be very, very careful. When we perform devotional service, many people will praise us, glorify us. And it is the duty of the devotees to glorify other devotees. But we should not take our glorification very seriously. And it will cause, like in our temple, normally His Holiness Sachinand Swami Maharaj normally comes in the month of December. After Kartik, when he's going back to the west, he gives one day to us, spends one night with us. So I'm very fortunate that he's very fond of me. So he used to give lecture, I used to translate. So he's very fond of me, and then he says, okay, he was glorifying me by giving the lecture. I said, no Maharaj, I was turning red. So after the lecture, we were sitting in the room. So he says, Rukmini Krishna, let me tell you one thing. He says, you see, you're not like Lord Shiva. Yes, I'm not like Lord Shiva. He said, Lord Shiva, what was the specialty of Lord Shiva? Yes, Maharaj, what was the specialty? Lord Shiva could put the poison in his throat. He didn't digest it. Okay? But this glorification is a poison for you. So whenever you're being glorified, immediately take it out. Pass it on to your superiors. If you take it, even one drop of glorification will be poison for you. You're not like Lord Shiva that you can hold the poison in your throat and you become Nilkant. So, such a strong message. Publicly he was glorifying in the private. Very lovingly told me this. Brought me to my level. So that way we should always, because it's very easy to get puffed up. Very, very easy. We look for opportunities. If someone is not glorifying, we start glorifying ourselves. We can't stay without hearing our glorification. So that's very dangerous. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Here, here it is mentioned like Brahmaji giving shape to the living entities, different bodies. And we have also heard that Maya Devi gives shape to the living entities.
Yeah, Maya provides all ingredients. Maya provides all ingredients. So which living entity will get what? So it's all designed. Like we desire, Krishna orders the Maya to supply those living entities. Then Brahmaji arranges. Okay. Everything is decided, but Brahma is okay, आप ये लीजिए. Some person is required at the bottom level. कि भगवान ने भेज दिया माया को ये देना, उसका पहुँच रहा नहीं पहुँच रहा, सही planet में वो है नहीं है. All atmosphere, proper atmosphere is there. That. Okay. Now.
Is this the fast creation that Krishna is shaking the hand of Brahmaji and returning to Golok? The fast creation which called?
Yeah, it can be first day of Brahma also. Yes. But every day of Brahmaji hears Bhagavatam for Chatushloki Bhagavatam. It can be every day also. Every day when Brahma wakes up, he is in a bewildered state. मैं कौन हूँ, कहाँ से, क्या करना है मुझे? Okay. Now the Chatushloki Bhagavatam will start. So Krishna will speak 4 verses, 7 verses only. 2 verses prelude to Chatushloki. It's the Prayojan. What is the Chatushloki Bhagavatam about? Then 4 verses of Chatushloki. And the next last verse is how to apply the Chatushloki Bhagavatam in our lives. Okay, the 7 verses are there. Okay, so 31st and 32 are the introduction to Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Okay. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Jnanam Param Guhyam Me Yad Vijnana Samanvitam Saharasyam Tadangam Cha Grahanam Gaditam Maya. Yes.
Translation. The personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me as described in the scriptures is very confidential and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully.
Yeah. So, first line is Jnanam Param Guhyam Me. Okay. So this is Jnanam Param Guhyam Me. This is the most confidential knowledge of my forms. Okay. The first question was, Brahmaji's first question was, I want to know about your material and spiritual forms. So this Jnana is Param Guhyam. Why it is Param Guhyam? It is beyond Paramatma realization and Brahm realization. Okay. And this is knowledge about my forms. Okay. Then Yat Vijnanam Samanvitam. This is realization. Okay. The realization of that forms. That means I will give you the exact details and dimensions of that form. Okay, their functions and everything. You will realize it. Not only the knowledge, but the realization of those forms. So that is the Brahmaji's second question, How do you interact with, what are the roles of Mahamaya and Yogmaya? Okay, so I'll give you the realizations. So that will be answered in the second verse of Chatushloki. Okay, Chatushloki second verse is, anything which you see unconnected with the absolute truth is Maya. Okay. So in the first verse, we will see the root or the cause of everything is absolute truth, Krishna. And in this world, anything we see unrelated with Krishna, that is illusory, that is Maya. Okay. So that realization will come when when we have realized the personal form of the Lord. Okay. So how this realization will come, personal form of the Lord? Saha Rahasyam, by Prema Bhakti. Rahasyam is Prema Bhakti. Okay. With Prema Bhakti, I will realize the personal features of the Lord. Okay. Tad Angamcha. And how will I get the Prema Bhakti? Tad Angamcha will describe the Vedi Bhakti, the Sadhana Bhakti. Okay. Grahana Gaditam Maya. Please accept it as being told by me. Clear? We'll take it. Can you switch on this? कहाँ आएगा? अच्छा, यहाँ नहीं आता? यहाँ तो दिखेगा नहीं। या फिर यहाँ कर दो। हाँ, यहाँ ठीक है, बेस्ट है। You have to come here. यहाँ आना पड़ेगा। अच्छा, मैंने लगाया ही नहीं। Yes. So first we read the purport. Lord Brahma is the topmost devotee of the Lord.
Lord Brahma is the topmost devotee of the Lord within the universe. And therefore, The personality of Godhead replied to his four principal inquiries in four important statements, which are known as the original Bhagavatam in four verses. These were Brahma's questions. First, what are the forms of the Lord both in matter and in transcendence? Second, how are the different energies of the Lord working? Third, how does the Lord play with his different energies? Fourth, how may Brahma be instructed to discharge the duty entrusted to him? The prelude to the answers is this verse under discussion, wherein the Lord informs Brahma that knowledge of him, that supreme absolute truth as it is stated in the revealed scriptures, is very subtle and cannot be understood unless one is self-realized by the grace of the Lord. The Lord says that Brahma may take the answers as he explains them. This means that transcendental knowledge of the absolute supreme being can be known if it is made known by the Lord himself. By the mental speculation of the greatest mundane thinkers, the absolute truth cannot be understood. The mental speculators can reach up to the standard of impersonal Brahman realization, but factually, complete knowledge of transcendence is beyond the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. Thus, it is called a supreme confidential wisdom. Out of many liberated souls, someone may be qualified to know the personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said by the Lord himself that out of many hundreds of thousands of people, one may try for perfection in human life, and out of many liberated souls, one may know him as he is. Therefore, the knowledge of the personality of Godhead may be attained by devotional service only. Rahasya means devotional service. Lord Krishna instructed Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita because he found Arjuna to be a devotee and friend. Without such qualifications, one cannot enter into the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, one cannot understand the personality of Godhead unless one becomes a devotee and discharges devotional service. This mystery is love of God. Therein lies the main qualification for knowing the mystery of the personality of Godhead. And to attain the state of transcendental love of God, the regulative principles of devotional service must be followed. The regulative principles are called Vidhi Bhakti, or the devotional service of the Lord, and they can be practiced by a neophyte with his present senses. Such regulative principles are mainly based on hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord. And such hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord can be made possible in the association of devotees only.
Yeah, okay, good. So Prabhupada is saying we can know about the Lord only by the grace of the Lord. And this verse also, impersonalist. It defeats this impersonalist idea because Lord is saying you can realize my forms and everything, okay? And in Unveiling the Lotus Feet, Bhurijan Prabhu, he quotes Jiva Goswami. He says, Srila Jiva explains in the same Sandarbh and Anuched, the Lord has hinted in this text that and the four topics he will present to Brahma in Bhagavatam 2.9, 33, 36, the Srimad Bhagavatam's 4 seed verses. These verses are known as Chatushloki Bhagavatam. His 4 hints below. First, the Gyan, knowledge, means to know the Lord's personal form, which is far more confidential than realization of impersonal feature. Srila Prabhupada has explained this purport in this. Okay. Second is Vigyan, realization of this subtle science occurs by Lord's grace. Srila Prabhupada explained in his purport to text 31 that Lord informs one that knowledge of him, the supreme absolute truth, as stated in the real scripture, is very subtle and cannot be understood unless one is self-realized by the grace of the Lord. This is because the Lord's form, qualities, activities are spiritual and beyond Maya's realm. In addition, because he is absolute truth, anything that appears as if it was separate from him only an illusion. Maya. In order to teach this truth and the understanding that we are dependent on his mercy, the Lord speaks the second of the Bhagavatam seed text 34. Saha Rahasyam refers to Rahasya, secret, confidential and mysterious. The most secret, confidential and mysterious goal is Prema Bhakti. Rahasya means devotional service. Okay? Okay. And this will be explained in 4th verse, seed 35. Tadangam, the necessary paraphernalia or the means by which one may attain the confidential goal is sadhana bhakti. Right? Clear? So this verse is having all the 4 verses hint of what Shri Krishna is going to speak in 4 verses and how these 4 verses will answer Brahma's 4 questions. Clear? Right? Okay. So we'll go to verse 32. Yavanaham yatha bhaho yad rupa gun karmaka tathaiva tattva vijnanam astu me mananugraha. Yeah, please read.
All of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, qualities and activities. Let all the awaken to within you by factual realization out of my causeless mercy.
Yes. Yavan aham, Yavan aham, as I am in eternal form, yatha, as much as my dimensions, what is my size and everything. Bhava, my transcendental existence, my intentions. Gun karmaka, my qualities, my activities. Tathaiva tattva vijnanam astu te madanugraha. So you may get it by my causeless mercy. You may realize it. Now what does realization means? We have realized it. What does it mean?
Like knowledge has three aspects: knowledge, understanding, and realization.
Yeah.
So when one is thoroughly and deeply convinced about the knowledge, and he has his own experiences,
Yeah.
and it is to the highest level of knowledge, named as
Yeah.
realization.
So when he experienced it, very good. So the realization will be known by the effect. Like if we have some African people here, some Negro, who has never seen Rasgulla. If you keep Rasgulla in front of him, he won't be affected. No effect on him. If you put a Rasgulla in front of a Bengali, he'll start mouth starts watering, because that is the effect. He has realized the taste of Rasgulla, but that person from Africa has not realized the taste of Rasgulla. So realization means it should show the effect. Okay. Like Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam evyam veti tatvata tyakta deyam punajanma neti mameti sa arjuna. One who knows that, one who has realized in truth my birth and activities will not take birth again and come back to me. Now we know Krishna's birth is, activities are transcendental, birth is transcendental. So are we qualified to go back to Godhead? Just by knowing this? No? Tattvata, realizing it. What will be the effect? Next verse is showing. If one person who has known by tattva, if one who has realized this, vitaraga bhaykoda, man maya mamu pashata, behavo jnana tapsa puta, mad bhavam agata. If I have known in truth, in tattva, I have realized this, then I will get rid of rag, bhay and krodh. Behavo Gyan Tapsa Puta. I will purify myself with the austerity of knowledge. What is Gyan Tapsa Puta? What is Gyan Tapsa? Because knowledge about everything has only one answer. 2 plus 2 is 4, only one answer. Wrong answers can be how many? Infinite. So Gyan Tapsa means every time I have to reach the right conclusion of knowledge. I don't have to get confused or distracted. It is tapasya. And this will purify me. And while I am doing this, Beho Gyan Tapsa Puta, Vitraga Bhayakoda, Man Maya Mamu Pashrita. So I will take complete shelter. So once I have realized the transcendental birth and activities of Krishna, I will be fully absorbed in that. And I will take shelter of that. Okay? I won't be distracted by anything of this world. I know this is the truth. I will be fully absorbed and I will take shelter of that. Then Mad Bhavam Agata. This will be the effect. So realization means it should be it's shown in the effect. Okay? I know Krishna's birth and activities are transcendental, but still I am affected by rag, bhay, krodh, and I am not fully absorbed in Krishna's pastimes. I am not taking shelter of that. Every time I get confused, if philosophy ठीक है भी नहीं है, लिखा तो था, होली ने वो effect तो दिखा नहीं रहा, we get confused. So we are not performing the austerity of always sticking to the right conclusion. Okay? Because we are not seeing the effect, we are not realize it completely. Okay? So the realization comes, Krishna says, Mad Anugraha. Okay? So how realization will come? By mercy of Krishna and devotees. So when we serve, Ata Shri Krishna Madina Bhavid Grahimendriyan, Sevan Mukhe hi Jivado Swayamev Surati Yoda. So when we serve and when we please our spiritual master, from their heart this blessing comes, and then the realizations will come. Okay? Only knowledge won't help. Knowledge will remain in head only, Bahunan Jan Manan Mante Jnanavan Prapadyate. When we have knowledge, we have a lamp inside our khopri. But Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashita, from this head to heart, takes many births. That light and lighting in the heart and lighting in the brain, that is there. Yes, Maharaj, I am not this body, I am the soul. This lamp is glowing here, but not here. So Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashita, that will happen by the mercy of spiritual master. Okay? But Krishna is a spiritual master of Brahmaji, his blessing, Mad Anugraha, you will get this realization of my dimensions also, my form also, my intentions also, my activities also. With what intention I am performing pastime, that also you will know. With my mercy. Okay, that is it. Okay. So, Prabhupada is, purport please, first paragraph.
The secret of success in understanding the intricacies of knowledge of the absolute truth. The personality of Godhead is the causeless mercy of the Lord. Even in the material world, the father of many sons discloses the secret of his position to the packed sons. The father discloses the confidence unto the son whom he thinks worthy. An important man in the social order can be known by his mercy only. Similarly, one must be very dear to the Lord in order to know the Lord. The Lord is unlimited. No one can know him completely, but one's advancement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord can make one eligible to know the Lord. Here we can see that the Lord is sufficiently pleased with Brahmaji and therefore he offered his causeless mercy to him, so that Brahmaji may have the factual realization of the Lord by his mercy only.
Yeah. Okay. So, Prabhupada is explaining in detail. Okay. So, if you refer to the commentary of Vinachak Thakur, Prabhupada is explaining in detail, elaborating on this commentary. We have less time, so we'll just go through this commentary. So, Prabhupada's purport is in detail explaining this. So, can this read this commentary?
Knowledge, what is beyond the senses and which is true, should appear to some degree in those with pure hearts who have faith. Vigyan refers to realization of that entity beyond the senses, direct vision of my Swarup as it is. This cannot occur without prema and sadhana bhakti. Knowing this, the Lord gives blessings for that purpose. Yavan means the dimensions of the Lord's various limbs in combination, their thickness or thinness, lengthiness, elevation or roundness. Yatha bhava means the type of intentions. Yadrup refers to the various forms, their complexion, the number of arms, Krishna, Ram, Narsimha and others. Guna refers to Lord's qualities such as affection for his devotees. Karma refers to pastimes such as lifting Govardhan or marrying Lakshmi. May you have true realization of whatever the dimensions, intentions, forms, qualities and activities manifest. Though this blessing alone indicates mercy, the Lord adds the phrase Mad Anugraha. This indicates that by the gradual increase of sadhana and prema bhakti, which are special functions of the Lord's supreme Kripa Shakti, when Brahma realizes greater degrees of sweetness in the Lord's form and qualities, he will realize directly the Vraja form of Krishna, sweeter and rarer than the present form of realization. Thus, other explanations of the 4 verses propounding the impersonal aspect of the Lord are naturally defeated by this verse.
Yeah. So many impersonalists have given their own commentaries on this Chatushloki Bhagavatam. So Vishwanath Thakur and Prabhupada is also saying this verse completely, this defeats the impersonalists' commentaries. Okay, clear? Prabhupada also in the last paragraph is writing, the impersonal interpretation of the mundane language is completely refuted in this verse because it is clearly stated here that the Supreme Lord has qualities, forms, pastimes and everything a person has. All these descriptions of transcendental nature of personality Godhead are factual realizations by the devotee of the Lord, and by the causeless mercy of the Lord, they are revealed to his pure devotee and not to anyone else. Right? Okay. So this was prelude to Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Now the first verse of Chatushloki. Aham evasam evagre nanyad yad sat asat param paschad aham yad etascha yo vishishyatya swasmiham. Yeah.
Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material nature because of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead, and after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So here we have very commentaries by Vishwanath Thakur and Prabhupada, very elaborate. And Vishwanath Thakur will commentary gives a technical explanation of this verse, each and every word. And Prabhupada's commentary is, again Prabhupada is refuting Mayavad. Very, I think 10 pages of commentaries are there, Prabhupada. So different aspects of Prabhupada is giving no opportunity to refute Mayavad. Okay. So we'll try to go through the both, and very interesting also. Okay. So first we'll go through the Vishwanath Thakur's commentary. You need to not visible?
Maybe we can project.
अच्छा ठीक
After promising knowledge and giving qualification by blessings in the two introductory verses, the Lord now teaches the first aspect of knowledge concerning the spiritual and material forms. Asked in verse 26, touching his forefinger to his chest, the Lord says, I alone existed before the creation. By the word eva, he excludes all others. Nothing of my category existed at that time. The most attractive form which you now see, a sweet ocean of form and quality existed before the creation. At the time of great devastation of all the universes.
Yeah. So we'll go slowly. Aham eva. So this paragraph explains aham eva. Okay. So with what context? Before creation. The context is before creation. Okay. So before creation, I was there. Only I was there. And it says, excludes all others. Nothing of my category existed at that time. Nothing of my category existed in material creation, because material creation was not there. No incarnations were there. So nothing of my category. Beyond the Varja river, the spiritual world is causeless. There is no cause. It's eternal. Below the Vrija river, everything has a cause. This material world has a cause and effect. Spiritual world is beyond cause and effect. Okay. So before material creation, aham ev, only I was there. Okay. And none of my category was there in the material, because material creation was not there. So only I was existing. Right? Clear? Okay.
In this written that touching his forefinger to his chest.
Yeah.
So this is a realization by Vishwanath Chakravarti.
Obviously, yeah. He's not speculating like us. His realizations. Yeah. All this.
For stressing the power.
Yeah, no. It's not that. It's just all these shlokas, they are revealed in the heart of the pure devotees. Yeah.
इसमें जो बता रहे हैं कि before material creation only I was there.
हाँ.
लेकिन इसमें spiritual world की बात नहीं की.
हाँ.
Spiritual world वो सब manifest होने पहले कृष्णा राधा रानी बलराम
सब आएगा. अभी तो पहला आएगा सब. हाँ.
What is the difference between speculation और realization?
बहुत फर्क है. कल पढ़ा था ना, मेंटल स्पेकुलेशन के माइंड कीप्स ऑन फ्लिकरिंग. आज आपको ये ठीक रहे, कल उसी को कल वो ठीक नहीं है, गलत है. जितना मेडिकल साइंस ऐसा मेंटल, जितना मॉडर्न साइंस मेंटल स्पेकुलेशन है. आज बोलते हैं ये ठीक है, बोलते हैं ये ठीक नहीं था. रियलाइजेशन इज ट्रुथ, जो फैक्चुअल.
We are also like in Krishna Bhakti, spending some years, some मतलब थोड़ा बहुत रियलाइजेशन आता है तो समझ में नहीं आता, इट इज मेंटल स्पेकुलेशन.
हाँ, तो क्रॉस चेक कर लेना चाहिए, क्रॉस चेक कर लेना चाहिए, है ना. ये तो अपनी कमेंट्री हम लिख दें कुछ भी. तो कमेंट्री लिख लेते पहले. या या वासुदेवम
Vasudeva agra asin na brahma na cha shankara. Vasudeva exists previous to the universe. Brahma and Shiva did not exist.
Yeah.
Purusho havai narayana. The Lord is Narayana. Eko havai narayana asit. Narayana alone existed.
Yeah.
Purusho havai narayano akamayat. Atha narayana ajo ajayatah. यथा सर्वाणि भूतानि नारायण परम ब्रह्म तत्वं नारायण परम ऋतं सत्यं परम ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्ण पिंगलम. The Lord Narayana desired. From Narayana was born Brahma, from who all living entities arise. Narayana is the supreme Brahman, the supreme principle. He is most worthy of worship, the highest truth. The supreme Brahman, dark in complexion, with yellow cloth.
So there's so many. Yeah, please continue.
Eko Narayana asin na Brahma neshana. Narayana alone existed. Brahma and Shiva did not exist. Maha Upanishad Bhagavatam says, Bhagavan eka asetam agra atmatmanam vibhu atmechanu gatav atma nana matya upalakshana. Bhagavan, who exists in the form of Paramatma and Brahman, according to the viewpoint, alone existed before the creation of the universe, and the desire to create bodies of the jivas was absent.
Okay, so only before the creation, only Lord was there. Okay, Brahma was not there, Shiva was not there, and when the Lord desired to create, then ekoyam bahusyam, one became many. You know, that refers to Mahavishnu generating living entities. The living entities coming out of the body of Mahavishnu. When the desire to create was there, then Mahavishnu expanded himself. All the living entities came out. Okay, that is referring to material creation only. Now, I only existed before creation. When you existed, where do you exist? There must be some place, no? So that means if the Lord is eternal before creation, Lord's abode is also eternal before creation. So aham eva means I existed alone, and along with me, Vaikuntha Loka also existed. Before creation also Vaikuntha Loka was there. Right? So the next is coming this. And he existed means his associates also existed. He was not all alone. He said, aham eva, but I was only there. No one of my category was there, but my associates were there. No one was there in the material creation. Material creation was not there. Before creation, no one was there. But I was there along with my associates in my dham. Right? So this is first aham eva.
Avatars was there in spiritual.
Spiritual world only, not in the material creation. Not in the material creation. No one of my category was there in the material creation because material creation was not there. Okay? But Nitya Jivas were there along with me in my abode. Right? So aham eva. This is the meaning of aham eva. Next, continue. Prabhu.
When the Lord says he alone existed, it also means that his associates in Vaikuntha also existed, since they are his parts. This is similar to saying the king goes, meaning that the king goes with his attendants. The associates of the Lord are in a condition similar to the Lord. Parikshit asked, Sachapi yatra purusho vishvasthiti udbhavapaya
Muktu atma maya.
Maya mayesha shete sarva guhashaya. Please describe where this Purusha, the creator, maintainer and the destroyer of the universe, the Lord of Maya, dwelling within all beings, but untouched by his Maya, lies now. Vidura asks, Tatvanam Bhagavam Stesham Katita Pratisrishan Kramaha Tatrimam Ka Upashridan Ka Usvid Anusrirate. Please describe how many dissolutions there are for the elements of material nature and who survives after the dissolution to serve the Lord while he is asleep.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Sridhar Swami explains.
There's some mistake. You can read the English only at the time of dissolution. Third line. At the time
of dissolution, who will worship the Supreme Lord as a king by waving a chabara, and who will accompany the Lord in sleep?
Kashi Khand says.
Kashi Khand says, Na chavantehi mat bhakta mahatmyam pralayapati ato achyuto akhile loke sar eka sarvago apreha. My devotees do not perish even at the time of universal destruction. The Lord alone is indestructible and all pervading in all planets.
Okay. So this is Aham Eva Evagre. Okay. And the word, what is the next word? Verse. Masameva. No? Now Asameva is being explained. Asameva means, sorry. So you can read, please. I'll explain. You continue.
The word asam, I existed, excludes anything without substance. The word as indicates, the word us indicates something existing. Because of my existing, complete non-existence is not at all possible. This should be understood from the word. I alone existed. This, however, does not mean that I did not do anything. The statement does not exclude other actions since the verb us is connected with all other verb roots. If one says Chaitra existed in that village last year, it does not mean that he did not eat, sleep or sit or sleep there.
Yeah. So Ahamev, we explained, it is Ahamev, first Ahamev refers to before material creation, and Lord is talking of his existence in spiritual world. Okay? Right? Spiritual world existed, associate existed, I existed before this. Okay? And then the second is Asam Ev Agre. Okay? So I only existed. Okay? So you will say, but you existed, but you are not doing anything. You are not doing anything for the material creation. So you just existed in name. Yes, I existed in name only for material creation. I was not doing anything for the material creation, but I was doing all kinds of activities in my spiritual kingdom. You know, from the material perspective, the whole context of this verse is material creation. This verse is to be viewed from material context, material creation context. Okay, Agre means material before the creation of material creation. Clear? So before the creation of material existence, I was there in my spiritual world along with my associates in the abode. Okay, but what were you doing for spiritual material creation? I was just there. In the name I was there. I was not doing in the material creation, but I was fully active in my spiritual world. Point is, someone may say, is the king there? If the king is not very active in the kingdom, he is not doing anything, but he may still be playing with his children in his home, in his palace. Clear? Government Prime Minister is off, he is not available today. The Prime Minister is not there, but Prime Minister is still active, he is eating, sleeping, doing everything. Similarly, I am not active in material creation. Asite, I am just existing but not doing anything, but I am active in my spiritual abode. Clear? I just existed. Now, Asite, I just existed. Okay? But I was not active in material creation. Before the creation. Clear? Confusing? Clear, na? Aham ev asam evagre. Okay? It explains the first word. Okay? Right. So, we go speak this. Okay. Like the words asam ev exclude actions such as creation, which are subject to the awareness of person with material bodies such as Brahma. Okay. However, the words do not exclude Lord's spiritual pastimes. If one says that presently the king does not perform any activities, it means he does not perform his activities as a king, but does not mean that he does not eat or sleep. Okay. That is okay. Next, sometimes it is said that
Sometimes it is said that only the impersonal Brahman existed. In answer to this, it is said in this verse that Brahman, which is superior to effect, Sat, and cause, Asat, is not different from me. This means that I alone appear as the impersonal Brahman in some scriptures which cannot express the various qualities arising from my Swarupa because the readers are not qualified. But you should know me endowed with form and qualities because you have my blessings and mercy as expressed in the previous words.
So now this explains the next word, na anyad yad sat asat param. Okay, I am non-different from that which is said to be the cause of beyond all the cause and effect. Sat asat means cause and effect. In this material world, everything has some cause and effect is there. So what is the absolute truth? The absolute truth must be beyond this cause and effect. Okay, and normally that is taken as a Brahman, impersonal Brahman. So Krishna is stressing, na anyad, I am non-different from that Brahman. I am that Brahman. Okay, but why it's not revealed in all the scriptures? Because people are not qualified to understand me. So they think that which is beyond the effects, cause and effect is impersonal Brahman. But I am that impersonal Brahman. Clear है जी? नहीं है? हाँ? ठीक है ना? थोड़ा टेक्निकल है बट इंटरेस्टिंग है. Okay. Okay. So this is the first line. Aham evasam evagre na anyadya sat asat param. Okay? Cause effect. Like when we did the creation, so first was ego. From ego comes Mahat Tattva. And from Mahat Tattva comes different limbs, 5 elements. Ego in Tamogun produces senses, material elements. Then ego in the mode of passion produces intelligence. Ego in the mode of goodness produces mind. And all those things start happening. Everything has a cause effect, cause effect, cause effect. So that which is beyond this cause and effect is impersonal Brahman. Many Upanishads say that. It's beyond this material world. But Krishna is saying, na anyad yat sat asat param. I am that actually. Prabhu ji.
Yes, trying to understand.
नहीं आया समझ? इतना मुश्किल नहीं है.
So far I have understood that this material world, under this Virajanadi,
Yeah.
It has cause and effect.
Yeah.
And beyond the Virajanadi, in the spiritual world, there is no cause and effect. It existed
Eternally. Yeah. Okay. So aham ev, I was there even before the creation. I was there along with my abode, along with my associates. But you were there, you were not doing anything. We couldn't see you in material creation. Yes, I was just existing. I was not active in material creation, but it was not there. So I was not active. जब material creation की नहीं थी तो मैं कैसे active होता? But that doesn't mean कि मैं था ही नहीं. I was existing और मैं बहुत active था अपने लीलाओं में ऊपर गोलोक धाम में.
This particular situation is like Mahavishnu has glanced over material nature. Like Mahavishnu has done exhalation and then Brahmandas have come up.
अभी नहीं हुआ, कुछ नहीं हुआ, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. कुछ नहीं बना.
Brahma ji will be born from the level of.
हाँ तो भी नहीं हुआ, अभी कुछ नहीं हुआ ना, अभी कुछ नहीं हुआ. महाविष्णु भी नहीं आया अभी.
Like Garbhodakshaya Vishnu will be there, then Brahma will come.
हाँ तो अभी वो.
Brahma is talking to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
हाँ ले तो बता रहे हैं ना कि अभी आ गया, तुम्हारे से पहले क्या था मैं बता रहा हूँ. वो पूछना चाह रहे हैं ना कि आपकी मटीरियल फॉर्म्स क्या हैं, आपकी स्पिरिचुअल फॉर्म्स क्या हैं. तो बता रहा हूँ भैया मेरी स्पिरिचुअल फॉर्म तो ये हैं और मटीरियल फॉर्म्स में ऐसे लेता हूँ. जब क्रिएशन होती है तो फिर मटीरियल फॉर्म में आता हूँ. हमें कुछ नहीं गया, वो सब है ऊपर, विष्णु तक नहीं आए. परमात्मा तीनों जो पुरुष अवतार हैं वो तीनों परमात्मा हैं. महाविष्णु परमात्मा पूरी क्रिएशन के हैं, गर्भोदक्षय पर एक ब्रह्मांड के परमात्मा हैं और क्षुदक्ष विष्णु एक जीव के परमात्मा हैं. तो अभी कोई परमात्मा नहीं आया अभी. ठीक है ना. तो ही स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द रूट, कहाँ से मैं शुरू हो रहा हूँ, तो हम सोच ही नहीं रहे हम तो इतना, लेकिन ब्रह्मा जी को पूरा बता रहे हैं कि ब्रह्मा जी सब जानना चाहते हैं मैं कहाँ से आया हूँ, ये क्या है, क्रिएशन कैसे हुआ है। तो इस क्रिएशन से पहले भी मैं था, मेरे लोक भी था, मेरे सब पार्षद भी थे, बट कुछ दिखाई नहीं दिया यहाँ पे कुछ, हाँ कुछ हो ही नहीं, क्रिएशन ही नहीं था, बट आई वॉज एक्टिव.
Active in backward.
No, I was active, no, but not active because the creation was not there. When there was no need for creation, I was not active, but I was existing. That doesn't mean I was not existing. In my spiritual form, I was existing. So इसका मतलब, लेकिन आप थे क्रिएशन से पहले, तो बोला जाता है कि that which is beyond the creation is impersonal ब्रह्म. हाँ, वो बोलते हैं क्योंकि लोग ज़्यादा समझ नहीं पाते. इम्पर्सनल ब्रह्म के परे भी मैं ही हूँ, उसका कारण भी मैं ही हूँ. ना अन्य सत असत परम, वो मैं. ठीक है ना, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट क्वालिफाइड टू अंडरस्टैंड मी, इसलिए वो इम्पर्सनल ब्रह्म तक ही बोलते हैं, चलो ठीक है इतना ही समझ जाओ, बट एक्चुअली इट इज़ मी ओनली. ठीक है ना, ओके. फिर नेक्स्ट लाइन क्या है, पाश्चात अहम. जब क्रिएशन हो जाती है तो फिर भी मैं रहता हूँ, स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में तो रहता ही रहता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं कि क्रिएशन हुई तो मेरी कुछ पोटेंसी कम हो गई, मेरी लीलाओं में कुछ कमी हो गई, है ना, कि अब थोड़ा ठाकुर जी प्राइम मिनिस्टर थोड़े बिजी हो गए हैं, थोड़ा काम ज़्यादा शुरू हो गया, पार्लियामेंट की छुट्टियां खत्म हो गई, बिजी देयर, तो उसकी पास टाइम में कुछ फ़र्क पड़ गया ना. ओम पूर्णमिदम पूर्णमता पूर्णम पूर्णमुदच्यते, कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. ओके, सो पाश्चात अहम, जब क्रिएशन हो जाती है, आई एग्जिस्ट एज इट इज़ इन माई स्पिरिचुअल अबोड, एंड आई ऑल्सो एग्जिस्ट एज इनकारनेशंस इन द मटीरियल वर्ल्ड. ओके, ऑल्सो आई एग्जिस्ट एज परमात्मा in material creation. Also, I exist as a Virat Roop in the material world. ठीक है ना. पाश्चात अहम. ओके, यद एतश्च, ये एतत् क्या है, मटीरियल क्रिएशन. पाश्चात जब क्रिएशन हो जाती है तो मैं ही क्रिएशन हूँ. एवरीथिंग इज मी ओनली, एवरीथिंग इज माई एनर्जी. सो आई एज ए विराट रूप एग्जिस्टिंग, I also exist in the form of incarnations. I also exist in my spiritual abode, performing pastimes. So here Subal Prabhu. ठीक है. नहीं आ रहा समझ? ठीक है ना, इंटरेस्टिंग है. ओके, फिर है, अब देखिए ना, वर्ष को देखते रहिए तो ज़्यादा क्लियर होगा. सो अहम एवा से एवा, अगर क्लियर हो गया, ना अन्य असत परम. पश्चात अहम यद एतश्च, पश्चात जब क्रिएशन के बाद भी मैं अपने स्पिरिचुअल बोर्ड में भी हूँ, मटेरियल बोर्ड में किन 3 रूपों में हूँ, विराट रूप में हूँ, ये क्रिएशन में ही हूँ, और साथ में परमात्मा रूप में हूँ, और अपने इनकारनेशंस के रूप में भी रहता हूँ. वहाँ भी अलग अलग पास टाइम्स करता हूँ, नरसिंगा मत्स्य इत्यादि बन के आता रहता हूँ. फिर यह अविशिष्यते सो अस्मि अहम, और जब एनिहिलेशन हो जाता है, सम वाइंड अप हो जाता है, फिर भी मैं अपने स्पिरिचुअल बोर्ड में वैसे ही रहता हूँ. ठीक है ना, क्लियर? धीर गौर प्रभु. सो दिस इज द एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर. नाउ प्रभुपाद गिव्स ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट vision to this. Prabhupada is again stressing in his 10-page purport the identity and individuality of Jiva and Paramatma. They are always different and exists differently eternally. Okay, so Prabhupada is giving different examples. Okay, so yeah, we read it. First paragraph. In the first paragraph, Prabhupada is stressing upon there are 2 I's. Okay, in this verse, so many times aham, aham, aham has come. So that means the absolute truth is a person. So you can read first paragraph.
We should note very carefully that the personality of Godhead is addressing Lord Brahma and specifying with great emphasis himself, pointing out that it is he, the personality of Godhead, who existed before the creation. It is he only who maintains the creation, and it is he only who remains after the annihilation of the creation. Brahma is also a creation of the Supreme Lord. The impersonalist puts forth the theory of oneness in the sense that Brahma, also being the same principle I, because he is an emanation from the I, the absolute truth, is identical with the Lord. The principle of I, and that there is thus nothing more than the principle of I, as explained in this verse. Accepting the argument of the impersonalist, it is to be admitted that the Lord is the creator I, and that the Brahma is the created I. Therefore, there is a difference between the two I's, namely the predominator I, the predominated I. Therefore, there are still two I's, even accepting the argument of the impersonalist. But we must note carefully that the verse that these two I's are accepted in the Vedic literature, Kathopanishad, in the sense of quality. The Kathopanishad says, Nitya Nityanam Chetana Chetananam Eko Bahunam Iya Vidadati Kaman.
Okay, clear? Prabhupada is saying, इसमें आई हो रहा है ना, तो बोल रहे हैं जो भगवान से ब्रह्मा जी आए वो भी आई है, तो दोनों एक हैं. बट आप ये मान लो कि एक आई से दूसरा आई आया है, लेकिन दोनों एक हैं, वो कहते हैं नहीं. तो प्रभु दोनों एक, आप ये तो मान रहे हैं ना एक आई से दूसरा आया है, तो एक प्री डोमिनेटर है, एक प्री डोमिनेटेड है, एंड बोथ आर वन इन क्वालिटी. नित्यो नित्यानाम चेतसो चेतनानाम, बोथ आर नित्य, बोथ आर चेतन, बट वन इज प्री डोमिनेटर, अनदर इज प्री डोमिनेटेड. This is how one. First paragraph. Second paragraph.
The creator I and the created I.
No. Second paragraph.
In another feature of this verse, no one can deny the personalities of both the Lord and Brahma. Therefore, in the ultimate issue, both the predominator and predominated are persons. This conclusion refutes the conclusion of the impersonalists that in the ultimate issue, everything is impersonal. This impersonal feature stressed by the less intelligent impersonalist school is refuted by pointing out that the predominator I is the absolute truth and that he is a person. The predominated I, Brahma, is also a person, but he is not the absolute. For realization of one's self in spiritual psychology, it may be convenient to assume oneself to be the same principle as the absolute truth, but there is always the difference of the predominated and the predominator, as clearly pointed out here in this verse, which is grossly misused by impersonalists. Brahma is factually seeing face to face his predominator Lord, who exists in his transcendental eternal abode form, even after the annihilation of the material creation. The form of the Lord, as seen by Brahma, existed before the creation of Brahma and the material manifestation, with all the ingredients and agents of material creation are also energetic expansions of the Lord. And after the exhibition of the Lord's energy comes to a close, what remains is the same personality of Godhead. Therefore, the form of the Lord exists in all circumstances of creation, maintenance and annihilation. The Vedic hymns confirms that this fact in this statement, Vasudeva va idam agre asina na brahma na cha shankara eko narayana asina na brahma nishan, etc. Before the creation there was none except Vasudeva. There was neither Brahma nor Shankar. Only Narayan was there and no one else. Neither Brahma nor Ishan. Sripad Shankaracharya also confirms in his comments on the Bhagavad Gita that Narayan, or the personality of Godhead, is transcendental to all creation, but that the whole creation is the product of Avyakta. Therefore, the difference between the created and the creator is always there, although both the created and created are of the same quality.
Yeah, so first paragraph, the two eyes are there, and the second paragraph, these two eyes are persons, and they are one in quality, but they cannot be the same. Now he's talking about the abode. The abode is also transcendental, yeah.
The other feature of the statement is that the Supreme Truth
is Bhagwan or personality of Godhead. The personality of Godhead and His kingdom have already been explained. The kingdom of Godhead is not void as conceived by the impersonalist. The Vaikuntha planets are full of transcendental variegatedness, including the four-handed residents of those planets with great opulence of wealth and prosperity. And there are even airplanes and other amenities required for high-grade personalities. Therefore, the personality of Godhead exists before the creation, and He exists with all transcendental variegatedness in the Vaikuntha Lokas. The Vaikuntha Lokas also accepted in the Bhagavad Gita as being of Sanatan, of the Sanatan nature, are not annihilated even after the annihilation of the manifested cosmos. Those transcendental planets are of a different nature altogether, and that nature is not subjected to the rules and regulations of material creation, maintenance, or annihilation. The existence of the personality of Godhead implies the existence of the Vaikuntha Lokas, as the existence of a king implies the existence of a kingdom.
Then in the next paragraph, Prabhupada is quoting all those verses which we read in the Vishnu Thakur's commentary, which will give us the proof of existence of his associates also. Okay. Then you can read to this paragraph. The impersonate abuses no activity. So now Prabhupada is saying, Lord is there, Brahma is there, separate identities, separate personalities, abode is there, associates are there, and Lord has activities also. Okay. The impersonalist abuses no activity in the Supreme.
The impersonalist abuses no activity in the Supreme, but in this discussion between Brahma and the Supreme Personal Godhead, the Lord is said to have activities also, as He has His form and quality. The activities of Brahma and other demigods during the maintenance of the creation are to be understood as the activities of the Lord. The king or the head executive of the state may not be seen in the government offices, for he may be engaged in royal comforts, yet it should be understood that everything is being done under his direction and everything is at his command. The personality of Godhead is never formless. In the material world, he may not be visible in his personal form to the less intelligent class of men, and therefore he may sometimes be called formless. But actually, he is always in his eternal form, in his Vaikuntha planet, as well as in other planets of the universes as different incarnations. The example of the sun is very appropriate in this connection. The sun in the night may not be visible to the eyes of men in the darkness, but the sun is visible wherever it has risen. That the sun is not visible to the eyes of the inhabitants of a particular part of the earth does not mean that the sun has no form.
Continue.
In the Brihad Aranya Upanishad 141, there is hymn Atman Vedan Agra Asit Purusha Vidha. This mantra indicates the Supreme Personal Godhead Krishna even before the appearance of the Purusha incarnation.
Existed even.
Existed even before.
मेरे इसमें appearance लिखा है इसमें.
अच्छा, existed.
Even before the existence of the Purusha incarnation.
No, he existed before the appearance.
Even से पहले बोलो. Before even से पहले. Existed even before.
In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Lord Krishna is Purushottam because he is the Supreme Purusha, transcendental, given to the Purusha Akshar and Purush Akshar, the Akshar Purush or the Mahavishnu, through his glances or property or material nature. But the Purushottam existed even before that. The Brihad Aranya Upanishad therefore confirms the statement of the Bhagavad Gita that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Person, Purushottam.
So Aham, even before the existence of Mahavishnu, I was there. Okay, so he's quoting from Brahmarana Upanishad also and Bhagavad Gita also. Right. Next, Prabhu.
In some of the Vedas, it is also said that in the beginning only the impersonal Brahman existed. However, according to this verse, the impersonal Brahman, which is glowing effulgence of the body of the Supreme Lord, may be called the immediate cause, but the cause of all causes, or the remote cause, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord's impersonal feature is existent in the material world because by the material senses or material eyes. The Lord cannot be seen, perceived. One has to specialize the sense before one can accept to see or perceive the Supreme Lord. But He is always engaged in the personal capacity, and He is internally visible to the inhabitants of Vaikuntha, eyes to eyes. Therefore, He is materially impersonal, just as executive head of the estate may be impersonal in the government office, although He is not impersonal in the government house. Similarly, the Lord is not impersonal in His abode, which is always nirasta kuruhakam, as stated in very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, both the impersonal and personal feature of the Lord are acceptable. As mentioned in the revealed scripture, this personality of God is very emphatically explained in the Bhagavad Gita in connection with the verse Brahmano hi pratisthaham, Bhagavad Gita 14.727. Therefore, in all way, the confidential part of the spiritual knowledge, realization of personality of Godhead, and not His impersonal Brahman feature.
Okay, then you can see, you can come to the downwards, but that does not mean that individual part and parcel of the Lord becomes the supreme by a false claim. It means only that a conditioned soul is a victim of the illusory energy in the last layer. To claim to be one with the cosmic consciousness of the Lord is the last trap set by illusory energy or Devi Maya. Even in the impersonal existence of the Lord, as it is in the material creation, one should aspire for the personal realization of the Lord, and that is the meaning of Paschad aham yadasyasya sa yo avashyamso asmi aham. So we are in the material world. All the Lord is present through His impersonal form. But here also, by engaging in sadhana bhakti, by hearing and chanting, we are trying for His personal realization. Brahmaji also accepted the same truth when he was instructing Narada. Soyam te bhitastat Bhagwan Vishwa Bhavana. There is no other cause of all causes than the Supreme Personality Godhead, Hare. Therefore, this verse, Ahamev, never indicates anything other than the Supreme Lord, and one should therefore follow the path of Brahma Sampradaya, or the path from Brahmaji to Narad, to Vyasadeva, etc., and make it a point in a life to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hare, or Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada's purport gives us a practical aspect, practical application. Okay, only Lord is existing. So even though we are in the conditioned state, even though we are not able to see the Lord personal form, but we should aspire to realize the personal form only. We should not be satisfied with the impersonal aspect of the Lord. Okay, this very confidential instruction to the pure devotee of the Lord was also given to Arjuna and to the Brahma in the beginning of creation. The demigods like Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, Indra, Chandra and Varun are undoubtedly different forms of the Lord for execution of different functions. The different elemental ingredients of material creation as well as multifarious energies also may be of the same personality of Godhead, but the root of all of them is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. One should be attached to the root of everything rather than bewildered by the branches and leaves. This is the instruction given in this verse.
तो ये जो एक लाइन लिखा था यहाँ पे कि therefore is materially impersonal, just as the executive state of the head may be impersonal in the government offices, although is not impersonal in the government house.
Yeah.
तो इसका मतलब कि वो यहाँ present नहीं है इसलिए ऐसा है.
हाँ, हम उसको और ऐसे है ना कि मैं तो सब जगह हूँ लेकिन हूँ भी नहीं. Through His energy is everywhere. Through His energy He is all pervading. Okay. But prema anchara bhakti vilochana santa sadeva hridayeshu vilekayanti. But those who have love in their heart, they can see Him everywhere. But because we are not have love, so for us He is impersonal, He is not there, He is not visible. But His energies are always there.
Okay. It is written that the demigods like Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, Vishnu.
Yeah, Vishnu is an expansion. No. But Vishnu is above Brahma and Mahesh, but Vishnu is involved in maintenance that way. ठीक है? Okay, so we have a break. Okay, any questions from the first verse?
What is the meaning of Ishan?
Not Shiva. Shiva. Anyone else? Okay. Should we go to the second verse? Okay. Okay. Huh.
Question is here from Shiva being discussed that they got manifested after Lord appeared here. So what about Sadasiva? It was already there. Sadasiva it was existing.
Sadashiva is existing. It's in the Vaikuntha.
He eternally existing here. Sadasiva Dham.
His dham is, it is said, just on the border. Some part is in the material world and some part is in the spiritual world. Sadashiva Dham, like that.
Since this question has come from,
Yeah.
like those who worship Shiva, they also get mukti?
Those who worship Shiva without any material desires, they go to his lok, Sadashiv lok.
That is mukti.
That is mukti. You know. That is mukti.
So if such people, devotees of Shiva,
Yeah.
they fall down also?
No, they don't fall. They don't fall. So then the Sadashiva is always worshipping Lord Sankarsana. So Shiva Tattva is very, very mysterious. Very mysterious. Okay.
How it is like partially material or partially their body?
It is. That's why he's neither Vishnu Tattva nor Jeev Tattva. He's in between.
So we cannot call him a demigod.
He's Mahadev, but not ordinary demigod. He's very special.
Jiva Shakti is Tatastha Shakti.
He's not a Thasta. He's not Jeev. He's not Vishnu Tattva. He's Shiv Tattva.
He is not Shakti also.
He's not Shakti also.
Now, what is the difference between Sadashiva and Rudra?
A different topic, Prabhuji. Sadashiva. That Sadashiva expands into Rudra. That Sadashiva expands into Rudra. Sadashiva is in the Vaikuntha Lok. If you see that map, that chart is there, na? Golak chart. Sadashiva is partially shown in the material world and partially in the Vaikuntha Lok.
When Lord is telling this verse, last verse to Brahma, at that time Sadashiv was there.
No. He's not of this category, no? He's not Vishnu category. He was not there. No one was there. In Karnakse, Vishnu was not there.
material world में जो लिंग की पूजा करते हैं लॉर्ड शिव की, is it सदाशिव और रुद्र?
वो पता नहीं, बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग है आपको.
महाकाल को कहते हैं सदाशिव बोलते हैं.
सदाशिव बोलते हैं. अच्छा. Yeah. It's very confusing. So I'm not expert in that. Okay. So let's start with 34th verse. Rite arthyat pritiyet na pritiyet chatmani tad vidyatmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tamaha. Okay. Please.
O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. No, it is my illusory energy that reflects on which appears to be in darkness.
Okay. So in the previous verse, Prabhupada has clearly said one should be attached to the root of everything rather than bewildered by branches and leaves. That is the instruction given in this verse. So everything is Lord Krishna or his energies. So everything is related with him, dependent on him. Nothing can be independent. So if you see anything independent in this creation, that is Maya. Maya means that which does not exist. Okay? It is just like Yatha Vaso Yatha Tama. It is like that reflection which appears to be in darkness. Now Vishwanath Thakur gives a different meaning to this. Read the translation. Translation.
One should understand my Maya, by whose power real objects are perceived through Vidya and false objects are perceived through Avidya. In relation to the self, just as light reveals objects and darkness hides them, one should understand my Yogamaya, by whose power some objects are revealed and some objects hidden from the person who has realized the Lord, just as light reveals objects and darkness hides them.
Okay, because the second question of Brahma was, what are the roles of Mahamaya and Yogamaya? So Vishnu Thakur is writing, what is the role of Mahamaya, what is the role of Yogamaya? And Prabhupada in his purport is also touching upon these points. So first we'll discuss the Vishnu Thakur's discussion, translation, and then we'll go to Prabhupada's purport. Okay. Again, it's a bit technical. So it's necessary, it's good to understand both, so that gives an overall perspective. Prabhupada's purports are mainly defeating Mayavad, and Prabhupada's purports are giving us the practical thing, what we should do. In the last purport we saw Prabhupada say, Aham, only Krishna is there, so not to get bewildered by branches and other things. Just catch the root. Okay. Here also we'll see Prabhupada will very nicely describe how even me as a spiritual soul, I am also not independent, so nothing of my actions can be independent. We are completely dependent on the mercy. If we are thinking ourselves independent, that is Maya. Okay. So that is the gist of Prabhupada's purport. Now but to have a very good understanding of what is Maya, what is Yoga Maya, so Vishnu Thakur is giving detailed commentary. Okay, this is the commentary now. To summarize it, I'll just give you the summary of it, gist of it, so that we should not get confused. Okay. So I will try to. So it is said, what is the role of Mahamaya? Okay. So it is explaining the Mahamaya has three parts. One is Pradhan. Okay. Other is Avidya. And third is Vidya. Okay. Normally we feel that Mahamaya is meant to bewilder the living entities. Okay. But it is not so. Mahamaya's service is to facilitate, to fulfill the desires of living entities, not to bewilder. Mahamaya is there to facilitate living entities. Okay. Not to bewilder them. If I want to get bewildered, she will bewilder me. If I want to know the truth, she will reveal the truth. Okay. She is Vaishnavi. So she is serving the orders of the Krishna. To whatever is my conditioning, whatever I am desiring, she is facilitating the fulfillment of that desire. Okay. So she has three energies, Pradhan, Avidya and Vidya. Pradhan means, as in Pradhan, she supplies all subtle and gross elements. Okay. She supplies all subtle and gross elements. In Avidya, Avidya means darkness. Okay. Avidya is compared to darkness. Now in darkness, there are two risks. What are the two risks we encounter in darkness? We can't see the real thing. And?
Where to go? We can go in more dark regions. There may be accident.
Okay, we can't see the real thing. There's a ditch. We can't see and we may fall. Okay. So we may not see the reality. And other thing, it may create unnecessary fear. We may see a rope hanging, we may see it's a snake. So darkness produces two risks. Okay. It may hide the truth and it may reveal the untruth. Okay. So darkness has two things. It may hide the reality or it may show the unreal. Clear? Now show the unreal means rope a snake, And hide the truth means, hide the reality means cover the truth, okay? Yeah, you're right. So covering the truth is Avaranatmika Shakti. Avaranatmika Shakti, no? Avaranatmika. Okay. And showing the unreal is Vikshepatmika or Parikshapatmika. No? कैसे लिखेंगे? परिक्षेपात्मिका. ठीक है, चलो जैसे ठीक है. Okay. So this is avidya. Okay. So in technical means that the verse is saying arthit. What is the verse? Can you read the verse? Yeah. Nite arth pratiyat na pratiyat chatmani. So Parikshatmika means it shows the unreal. That means na artham pratiyet. That which is not there, it appears there. Na artham, it is not there, but it is appearing to be there. Okay? And avaranataka means what? Artham na pratiyet. That which is there is not visible to us. Clear now? So this is what avidya does with us. That is to facilitate our desires. Okay. Now we want to forget. We don't want to know that in context of living entity, what is the reality? Reality is that I am not this body. I am the soul. But Avaranatmika potency, because I want to enjoy. So it makes me forget, it covers the truth that I am part and parcel of Krishna. Let me enjoy. Okay? And Parikshatmika Shakti, unreal thing, this world is meant for my enjoyment. Let me enjoy. Okay? This is me and mine. Right? Okay? So when we are covered by this avidya potency of Mahamaya, we try to enjoy. The living entity tries to enjoy. Trying, not able to enjoy, gets frustrated. Okay? Now he's searching, what is wrong? What should I should get some knowledge where I'm committing some mistake. Then the Vidya potency comes. Okay. Vidya potency means light. Okay. Light means we'll see the things as they are. Kya ho gaya? Which potency is this? Light means we'll see the things as they are. Okay. That means, what does that mean? As things as they are. It was artham na pratiyet. That means artham pratiyet. Artham pratiyet and na artham na pratiyet. Isn't it? If the light is on, I can see, okay, there's no snake, it's only rope. No snake, no, I'm not seeing that. Na artham, na pratiyet, artham, pratiyet. Whatever is there, I'm able to see that. Okay. So, when a person comes to this stage of realization, he sees the truth. Oh, I'm not this body, I am the soul. Okay. But complete realization is not there. The complete realization or liberation will happen when he takes shelter of Krishna. When he comes under the realm of Yog Maya. Okay. Vidya is in the mode of goodness. Prakasham cha pravartim cha. Vidya means in the mode of goodness. I'm able to see the things as they are. Okay. So I'm not unnecessarily scared by seeing a rope. I'm not taking it as a snake. And I'm saying, oh, there's a ditch forward, so I'll be careful. So that is the Vidya. So, okay, I'm not of this material world. I'm something spiritual being. Okay. But I have not yet started serving. So I'm not under the realm of Yog Maya. Okay, I've just realized myself, I'm not this body, I'm the soul, I'm not of this material world, I'm the spiritual world. Aham Brahmasmi kind of thing. Okay, so this is the Vidya, light. Okay, so this is how Mahamaya acts. Okay, it gives Pradhan, Avidya, Vidya. Mahamaya means to facilitate conditioned souls for fulfilling their desires. If they want to get bewildered, come under avidya. If you want to come out of it, come under vidya. So Mahamaya facilitates. So if you want to enjoy, with Pradhan, it provides all subtle and gross ingredients. Different bodies are there. Okay. Clear? Parekshapintuka. Prakshepatmika, yeah. Prakshepatmika. Sorry, I'm wrong. Prakshepatmika, yeah. ठीक है ना? Okay. So this is what Mahamaya does. This is how Mahamaya acts. Now how Yogamaya acts? Yogamaya is there to facilitate, to fulfill the desires of Krishna. Mahamaya is for conditioned souls. Yogamaya is for fulfilling the desires of Krishna. So when Krishna is performing pastimes, Krishna may desire कि you reveal the truth or you hide the truth. Krishna is showing his mouth to Yashoda Maya. So Yashoda Maya is seeing whole universe is inside. So by Yogamaya potency, sometimes Krishna shows his opulence and sometimes he hides that. Okay. So Yogamaya only. Different. Just to facilitate his desire. Damodar Lila, okay. Yashoda Maya was binding the rope, not to get bound. No, I'm not getting bound. Okay, let me get bound, or let it bind it. So you see, sometimes he will show his opulence and will hide his opulence from the devotees. Okay? Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavrita. Krishna covers himself with Yogamaya. It is Krishna's desire. Yogamaya facilitates Krishna's desires. Mahamaya facilitates conditioned souls' desires. Okay. This is how they act. This is the roles of Mahamaya and Yogamaya. Clear, Prabhuji? Yeah.
When you mentioned that how Yogamaya facilitates Krishna's desires,
yeah.
We also hear in Chaitanya Charitamrita how Yogamaya also nourishes devotees. So this preliminary knowledge which is given here, body and soul, so this is not by Yogamaya, that's not the part of nourishment which...
No, that is not part. No. Alladini Shakti. Till this stage, I have not come in contact with Alladini Shakti. Even if I am going to Brahm realization, Paramatma realization, I am not in contact with Alladini Shakti. When I start performing devotional service, then I can access Alladini Shakti. Then I get some bliss. Then Yogamaya nourishes me. No. Right.
So, like Vidya is not devotional service here?
Vidya is not devotional service. Vidya is just the knowledge, that reality. Switch off the light. But I am not starting performing devotional service.
Like the Gyanis?
Yeah, Gyanis, yes. They normally come to this stage. At the most, they can realize impersonal Brahma. Right. Okay. So we'll read some part of commentary of Vishwanath Thakur, if you are through with this. Yeah. Yes, you can see.
Thus the meaning is as follows. Understand my internal energy called Yogamaya. By this Yogamaya, yada, spiritual or material objects, artham, useful for a certain purpose are revealed, pratiyeta, to a person who has directly realized Paramatma, and by this same Yogamaya, these objects are not perceived or are covered now at some other time. When a person has realized Paramatma, Rite Atmani, one should understand that material Maya covers objects from view without a spiritual purpose, whereas Yoga Maya covers objects with a specific spiritual purpose. In the case of Yoga Maya, Yatha Bhaso Yatha Tama means just as a pot or cloth lit by a lamp is visible, and when it is covered by darkness, it is not perceived. That Yoga Maya, by Maya will, has qualities of revealing and obscuring like light and darkness. An example may be given in order to show that Yashoda's love could not be restricted by a show of Krishna's power, Yoga Maya revealed the material universe within his stomach, while simultaneously revealing the spiritual forms of Gokula, Yashoda, and Krishna. Bewildered by Yoga Maya, Yashoda perceived that directly, and after a moment did not perceive it, since Yoga Maya covered that realization.
Yeah, continue.
In order to show how prema is restricted by realization of power, Arjuna realized the universal form and the form of Paramatma when it was revealed by Yoga Maya. Because of the covering of Yoga Maya, he did not experience the Swarup of Krishna, which was still present. At other times, he did not experience either the universal form or Paramatma, which was covered by Yoga Maya, but experienced Krishna's two-armed form. At one time, one form of the Lord was revealed, while another was covered. This is how it is different from Yoga Maya acting on Yashoda in the first example. Here is another example. In order to destroy Brahma's thinking that he was the controller, Yoga Maya, by showing sweetness and power, made the real calves and cowherd boys invisible and showed calves and boys who were Krishna himself, and then made those forms invisible and showed forms of Vishnu with four arms. Then Yoga Maya made those Vishnu forms disappear and showed the form of Krishna. Brahma was bewildered by these acts of Yoga Maya. The unique quality of Yoga Maya's action here is that the one form of Brahma observed repeated coverings and revelations of various forms of the Lord. In order to show the inconceivable nature of his form, being both limited and unlimited by its very nature, and in order to show that he is brought under control by the efforts of pure service and by his mercy arising from seeing those efforts, Yoga Maya assisted in the Damodar pastime. Yashoda wanted to bind Krishna, and at the same time, Krishna did not want it to be bound up. Similarly, simultaneously covering his power, Yoga Maya allowed Yashoda to tie a string of bells around his waist, but displaying his power did not allow her to tie a rope around his waist. The rope was always 2 fingers too short. Yashoda, bewildered by Yoga Maya, which made it impossible for her to bind Krishna according to his wish, experienced great astonishment for a moment. This power was then covered by Yoga Maya by Krishna's consent in order to fulfill Yashoda's desire. Then she bound up Krishna. The outstanding feature of Yoga Maya in this case is the simultaneous covering of and displaying of the power in Krishna.
Yeah, so that way he's giving various examples how at different pastimes, as per Krishna's desire, it will cover up or it will reveal Krishna's powers. Right? So this is how Mahamaya and Yoga Maya acts. Right? So we'll go to Prabhupada's commentary. Yeah. Yes. So Prabhupada is also establishing this fact. Please read.
In the previous verse, it has already been concluded that in any stage of the cosmic manifestation, its appearance, its sustenance, its growth, its interaction of different energies, its deterioration, and its disappearance, all has its basic relation with the existence of the personality of Godhead. And as such, whenever there is forgetfulness of the prime relation with the Lord, and whenever things are accepted as real without being related to the Lord, that conception is called product of the illusionary energy of the Lord. Because nothing can exist without the Lord, it should be known that the illusionary energy is also an energy of the Lord. The right conclusion of dovetailing everything in relationship with the Lord is called Yog Maya, or the energy of union, and the wrong conception of detaching a thing from its relationship with the Lord is called the Lord's Devi Maya.
Or Mahamaya.
or Mahamaya. Both the Mayas also have connections with the Lord because nothing can exist without being related to Him. As such, the wrong conception of detaching relationship from the Lord is not false but illusionary. Illusion.
Okay. Yeah. Continue.
Misconceiving one thing from another thing is called illusion. For example, accepting a rope as a snake is illusion, but the rope is not false. The rope as it exists in front of the illusionist person is not at all false, but accepting it as a snake is illusory. Therefore, this material manifestations is not false, but the wrong conception of accepting the material manifestation as being divorced from the energy of the Lord is illusion. And this illusionary conception is called the reflection of the reality in the darkness of ignorance. Anything that appears not to be produced out of my energy is called Maya. The conception that the living entity is formless or the Supreme Lord is formless is also illusion. In Bhagavad Gita 2.12, it was said by the Lord in the midst of the battlefield that the warriors standing in front of Arjun himself, and even the Lord had all existed before. They were existing on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and they would all continue to individual personalities in the future also. Even after the annihilation of the present body, and even after liberated from the bondage of material existence, in all circumstances, the Lord and the living entities are individual personalities, and the personal feature of both the Lord and living beings are never
Abolished.
Only the influence of the illusionary energy and the reflection of the light in the darkness can by the mercy of the Lord be removed. In the material world, the light of the sun is also not independent, nor the light of the moon. The real source of light is the Brahmajyoti, which diffuse light from the transcendental body of the Lord. And the same light is reflected in various varieties of light. The lights of the sun, the lights of the moon, the light of the fire, or the light of electricity. So the identity of the self as being unconnected with the Supreme Self, the Lord is also illusion. And the false claim, I am the Supreme, is the last illusory snare of the same Maya or the external energy of the Lord.
Okay, so what are all illusions? I am this body, that's an illusion. I am the Supreme, that is also illusion. Lord is formless, that is also illusion. All these Prabhu has covered this, okay? This is all very prevalent, everything is very prevalent. Brahm, Satyam, Jagat, Mithya, that is also illusion. That's all Prabhupada has refuted everything here, okay? Next, Prabhu, yeah?
The Vedanta,
Yes,
Vedanta Sutra in the very beginning of The Vedanta Sutra in the very beginning affirms that everything is born from the Supreme, and thus, as explained in the previous words, all individual living entities are born from the energy of the Supreme Living Being, the personality of Godhead. Brahma himself was born from the energy of the Lord, and all other living entities are born from the energy of the Lord through the agency of Brahma. None of them has any existence without being dovetailed with the Supreme Lord.
Yeah.
The independence of the individual living entity is not real independence, but is just the reflection of the real independence existing in the Supreme Being, the Lord. The false claim of supreme independence by the conditioned souls is illusion, and this conclusion is stated in this verse.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is again and again different types of illusions. We are independent. So we are never independent. Okay. So that independence is what? Just a reflection of real independence. Okay. So they're very deep actually. So these all tendencies we have because we are under effect of Mahamaya's avidya potency. So we are totally illusioned. Totally illusioned. Okay. We think we are independent. We can do our own things, Or sometimes we all these enjoying propensities we have, it's all illusory. We can never enjoy independent of Krishna. But still we make plans, subtle plans we make to enjoy independent of Krishna. So it's all illusory. Nothing. Okay. Wow.
Persons with a poor fund of knowledge become illusioned, and therefore the so-called scientists, physiologists, empiric philosophers, etc., become dazzled by the glaring reflection of the sun, moon, electricity, etc., and deny the existence of the Supreme Lord, putting forward theories and different speculations about the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of everything material. The medical practitioner may deny the existence of the soul in the physiological body construction of an individual person, but he cannot give life to a dead body, even though all the mechanisms of the body exist even after death. The psychologist makes a serious study of the physiological conditions of the brain, but as if the construction of the cerebral lump for the machine of the functioning mind. But in the dead body, the psychologist cannot bring back the function of the mind. These scientific studies of the cosmic manifestation or the bodily construction, independent of the Supreme Lord, are different, reflective, intellectual gymnastics only. But at the end, they are all illusion and
nothing more.
And nothing more. All such advancement of science and knowledge in the present context of material civilization is but an action of the covering influence of the illusory energy. The illusory energy has two phases of existence, namely the covering influence and the throwing influence. By the throwing influence, the illusory energy throws the living entities into the darkness of ignorance. And by the covering influence, she covers the eyes of man possessing a poor fund of knowledge about the existence of the Supreme Person, who enlightened the Supreme individual living being, Brahma. The identity of Brahma with the Supreme Lord is never claimed herein, and therefore such a foolish claim by the man with a poor fund of knowledge is another display of the illusory energy of the Lord. The Lord
पीछे पड़ गए प्रभु ना छोड़े.
The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 16.80 to 20 verse that demonic persons who deny the existence of the Lord are thrown more and more into the darkness of ignorance, and thus such demonic persons transmigrate life after life without any knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, so that's how this Prabhupada is very nicely explaining. Then Prabhupada is explaining that in Gita also Lord has explained Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Mata Sarvam Pravartate. So we should know He is the original source of everything. And although the reflectory energy of the Lord displays various illusions to the eyes of a person with a poor fund of knowledge, the sane person knows clearly the Lord can act even from far, far beyond our vision by His different energies, just as fire can diffuse heat and light from a distant place. Now Prabhupada is very interesting. In medical science, the ancient sages known as the Ayurveda, there is a definite acceptance of Lord's supremacy in the following words. Jagat yoni anichasya chedanandika rupina punso sti prakriti nitya pratichayena bhavsvataha achetnapi chetanya yogen paramatmanah akroda vishvam akhilam anityam natakakritam. There is one Supreme Person who is the progenitor of this cosmic manifestation, whose energy acts as Prakriti or the material nature, dazzling like a reflection, By such illusory action of Prakriti, even dead matter is caused to move by the cooperation of the living energy of the Lord, and the material world appears like a dramatic performance to the ignorant eyes. The ignorant person, therefore, may even be a scientist or a psychologist or a physiologist in the drama of Prakriti, while the sane person knows Prakriti as the illusory energy of the Lord. By such a conclusion, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, it is clear that the living entities are also a display of Lord's superior energy, just as material world is a display of Lord's inferior energy. The superior energy of the Lord cannot be as good as the Lord, although there is a very little difference between the energy and the possessor of the energy, or the fire and the heat. Fire is possessed of the heat, but the heat is not fire. This simple thing is not understood by man with the poor fund of knowledge, who falsely claim that the fire and heat are the same. This energy of the fire, namely heat, is explained here as the reflection and not directly fire. So we are heat, we are not fire. We are the reflection of the Lord. Okay. Therefore, the living energy represented by the living entities is the reflection of the Lord and never the Lord Himself. Being the reflection of the Lord, the existence of the living entity is dependent on the Supreme Lord, who is the original light. The material energy may be compared to darkness, as actually it is darkness, and the activities of living entities in the darkness are the reflections of the original light. So whatever we are performing activities, it is a reflection of the what is happening in the spiritual world, original light. The Lord should be understood by the context of this verse. Non-dependence of both energies of the Lord is explained as Maya or illusion. No one can make a solution to the darkness of ignorance simply by reflection of light. Similarly, no one can come out of the material existence simply by the reflected light of the common man. One has to receive the light from the original light itself. The reflection of sunlight in the darkness is unable to drive out the darkness, but the sunlight outside the reflection can drive out the darkness completely. समझे आप इसको? So even if you want to go out of this darkness, no ordinary jiva can take us out. We need the light from the original source. That is, one who is connected with the original source, the bona fide guru, only can take us out of this darkness. Therefore, the guru also means one who takes us from darkness to light. Okay. Therefore, a person in darkness, no one can see things. The reflection of sunlight in the darkness is unable to know. Okay. In darkness, no one can see the things in a room. Therefore, a person in the dark is afraid of snakes and scorpions, although there may not be such things. But in the light, the things in the room can be clearly seen, and the fear of snakes and scorpions is at once removed. Therefore, one has to take shelter of the light of the Lord, as in Bhagavad Gita Srimad Bhagavatam, and not the reflective personalities who have no touch with the Lord. No one should hear Bhagavad Gita Srimad Bhagavatam from a person who does not believe in the existence of the Lord. Such a person is already doomed, and any association with such a doomed person makes the associator also doomed. This is Prabhupada's unique English. There's no word like associator. Okay, last paragraph. Someone read. According to Padma Puran.
According to Padma Puran, within the material compass, there are innumerable material universes, and all of them are full of darkness. Any living being, beginning from the Brahmas, there are innumerable Brahmas in innumerable universes, to the insignificant end, are all born in darkness, and they require factual light from the Lord to see Him directly. Just as the sun can be seen only by the direct light of the sun, no lamp or man-made torchlight, however powerful it may be, can help one see the sun. The sun reveals itself. Therefore, the action of different energies of the Lord or the personality of God in Himself can be realized by the light manifested by the causeless mercy of the Lord. The impersonalists say that God cannot be seen. God can be seen by the light of God and not by man-made speculations. Here, this light is specifically mentioned as Vidyat, which is an order by the Lord to Brahma. The direct order of the Lord is a manifestation of His internal energy, and this particular energy is the means of seeing the Lord face to face. Not only Brahma, but anyone who may be graced by the Lord to see such merciful direct internal energy can also realize the personality of Godhead without any mental speculation.
This is a very powerful line. So the direct order of the Lord is a manifestation of His internal energy. So how we receive this direct order of the Lord? Through spiritual master. So that is manifestation of his internal energy. So we come under Yog Maya. So spiritual master can bring us from Mahamaya to Yog Maya. Okay. In Mahamaya we are trying to be independent, but by following Guru's instructions, because his instructions are under the realm of internal energy. So then we learn to connect everything with Krishna in the service of Krishna. So we come under the Yog Maya. And then, like Brahma also, we can see the Lord face to face. Okay. Any other practical application from this purport? Everything is connected with the Lord. That which not seems to be connected is Maya. And Prabhupada has given us different types of illusions.
We cannot understand the Lord without His grace.
We cannot understand the Lord without His grace. Yes.
They would say someplace that if the spiritual master is not bona fide, it means it does not have the light of the sun.
Yeah.
Then it cannot
Yes.
dissipate darkness of the room.
Yes. If it is, the spiritual master is not connected with the original light, there is no point in taking instructions from him. Yes.
So, in everything, Krishna is present or everything is spiritual. Only thing, it becomes material when we are not able to see the connection of it.
Yeah. Okay. When we are not able to see the connection with the Lord, we take it as material for our own use. Yes. Good point. Anything else, Prabhu? So, no, nothing is independent, The living entities, we are also completely dependent. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. So, these first two verses, they give us a Sambandha Gyan. Okay. These two first Chatushloki verses, they give us the Sambandha Gyan. The 35th verse will talk about what? You remember?
How
Lord plays with material energy and spiritual energy. But in the 31st verse, when the Lord was summarizing, what was he saying? What I will reveal? You remember? Tad angam rahasyam vidya and vigyan. Gyan, vigyan, sarahasyam tad angam. Okay. So we have done up to Vidya, that is the first verse. Vigyan. Vigyan is everything is Krishna. Nothing is separated from Krishna. That is Vigyan. Now, Sarahasyam. That is the Prema Bhakti. Okay. Or another way, how Lord deals with Yog Maya and Mahamaya. That also is revealed in this. Okay. Yatha Mahanti Bhutani Bhutani Bhuteshvanushvishnunu Pavishtani Apravishtani Tatha Teshu na Teshvaham. Yes. Please.
O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created and at the same time I am outside of everything.
Okay. Now, in summary, Lord's dealing with Mahamaya and Yogmaya, very, very separate. When Lord is dealing with Mahamaya, is totally detached. And when Lord is dealing with Yogmaya, he is very much attached. Okay. So these two are the main features. So it's totally detached. In each and every atom, Lord is there. Okay. But it's totally detached. He's just Updeshta Anumantaja. Okay. But when it comes to dealing with his associates, he's fully attached. Okay. So you read Vishwanath translation also.
Just as the elements enter into all beings and also remain separate, I enter into all beings and remain separate when I perform my pastimes. In pastimes related to the material world, I remain detached, and in pastimes related to devotees, I am attached.
Yes, okay. So read the commentary.
Having described Maya and Yoga Maya by taking two meanings to the previous verse, the Lord now describes how he performs pastimes in the material and spiritual worlds which are subject to Maya and Yoga Maya respectively. This answers Brahma's question in verse 28. Just as elements such as ether enter into living beings such as devatas, men and animals, since they are acquired by the jivas and at the same time do not enter into them, since they maintain a separate existence. I also enter into the elements and the living beings and also do not enter them, remaining separately in my abode which is Shuddha Sattva.
Yeah. So that, earth, water, air, they're in the body of Devta also. They're in the body of a rat and cat also. But they are detached. The earth in the body of a rat is not complaining, why I am not in the body of a Devta. It's a degradation for me. ऐसा कोई स्ट्राइक नहीं कर रही है वो कि मैं चूहे के शरीर से निकालो, मुझे देवता के शरीर में डालो. No, earth is earth, totally detached. So earth is inside the body also, earth is outside the body also. Similarly, Paramatma is not complaining, why I am in the body of a pig or in the body of a devta or why I am in the dead matter. Lord is there in the dead matter also. Totally detached. He's inside also, he's outside also. That is his dealing with Mahamaya. Right? Okay, yeah, please continue.
The entrance of the elements into the living beings is without attachment since the elements are not conscious. Like the ether, though I am conscious, like a man who lives in his house without attachment, I remain without attachment while entering, regulating and protecting all beings. My pastimes are without attachment in relation to the elements and the living beings within the material world.
Yeah. Dear, very interesting. Lord has no attachment. In whatever living being, okay, I'm there. Just like a dead matter. The example we discussed, sky and wind. But the sky and wind they are matter. They are not conscious. But Lord is conscious. Still is so detached. It's not so easy. Not so easy. Okay. So this is how we deal with material energy. Okay. Where were you? Please continue.
But I desire to show myself to my obedient devotees who have entered my heart, who have perfected themselves and bow to me. Remaining separate, not entering their hearts, I desire to offer my beauty to their eyes. I desire that my fragrance enters their nostrils and desire to fill their ears with the nectar of my sweet voice, speaking with them and answering them.
Yeah.
I desire to make their limbs experience the sweet softness of my body by touching and embracing them. Thus situated inside my devotees and externally as well, I perform pastimes with great attachment for my pure devotees beyond the gunas, whom I cannot give up.
Yeah, so beautiful. Lord wants to embrace his devotees. Lord wants that, they should get my fragrance, they should smell my fragrance, they should hear my voice. So Lord wants that. He's so attached. Okay, those whose hearts are purified. Those whose hearts are not purified, it totally remains totally detached. So this is what, very nice purport. Now we'll see Prabhupada's purport, yeah.
The great elements of material creation, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether, all enter into the body of all manifested entities, the seas, mountains, aquatics, plants, reptiles, birds, beasts, human beings, demigods, and everyone materially manifested, and at the same time such elements are differently situated. In the developed stage of consciousness, the human being can study both physiological and physical science, but the basic principles of such science are nothing but the material elements and nothing more. The body of the human being and the body of the mountain, as also the bodies of the demigods, including Brahma, are all of the same ingredients, earth, water, etc. And at the same time, the elements are beyond the body. The elements were created first and therefore they entered into the bodily construction later, but in both circumstances, they entered the cosmos and also did not enter. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, by his different energies, namely the internal and external, is within everything in the manifested cosmos. And at the same time, he is outside of everything, situated in the kingdom of God, Vaikuntha Loka, as described before. This is very nicely stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.37 as follows. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Patibhavitavis Tabhi Yevam Tirupataya Kalavi Goloka Evan Avasat Takilata Bhuta Govindamari Goshantamana Bhajana. I worship the personality of Godhead Govinda, who by expansion of his internal potency of transcendental existence, knowledge and bliss enjoys in his own and expanded forms simultaneously he enters into every atom of the creation. This expansion of his plenary parts is also more definitely explained in the same Brahma Samhita 5.35 as follows. ekopyasa rachetum jagadanda koti yachaktarasti jagadanda chayayanta andantarastha paramanu jayantarastham govindamadi purusham tanaham bhajami. I worship the personality of Godhead, Govinda, who by one of his plenary portions enters into the existence of every universe and every particle of the atoms and thus unlimitedly manifests his infinite energy all over the material creation. The impersonalists can imagine or even perceive that the Supreme Brahman is thus all-pervading, and therefore they conclude that there is no possibility of his personal form. Herein lies the mystery of his transcendental knowledge. This mystery is transcendental love of Godhead, and one who is surcharged with such transcendental love of Godhead can without difficulty see the personality of Godhead in every atom and every movable or immovable object. And at the same time, he can see the personality of Godhead in his own abode, Goloka, enjoying eternal pastimes with his eternal associates, who are also expansions of his transcendental existence. This vision is the real mystery of spiritual knowledge as stated by the Lord in the beginning, Sarvasya
Tadangamcha.
Saharasya Tadangamcha. This mystery is the most confidential part of the knowledge of the Supreme, and it is impossible for the mental speculators to discover by dint of intellectual gymnastics. The mystery can be revealed through the process recommended by Brahmaji in his Brahma Samhita 5.30 as follows. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayesh Vilopayanti Yam Sham Sundarana Chinta Guna Swarupa Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the original personality of Godhead Govinda, whom the pure devotees, their eyes smeared with the ointment of love of Godhead, always observe within their hearts. This Govinda, the original personality of Godhead, is Sham Sundar with all transcendental qualities. Therefore, although he is present in every atom, the Supreme Personality of Godhead may not be visible to the dry speculators. Still, the mystery is unfolded before the eyes of the pure devotees because their eyes are anointed with love of Godhead. And this love of Godhead can be attained only by the practice of transcendental loving service of the Lord and nothing else. The vision of the devotees is not ordinary, it is purified by the process of devotional service. In other words, as the universal elements are both within and without, similarly the Lord's name, form, qualities, pastimes, entourage, etc., as they are described in the revealed scriptures or as performed in the Vaikuntha Lokas, far, far beyond the material cosmic manifestation, are factually being televised in the heart of the devotees. The man with the poor fund of knowledge cannot understand, although by material science one can see things far away by means of television. Factually, the spiritually developed person is able to have the television of the kingdom of God always reflected within his heart. That is the mystery of knowledge of the personality of God.
So that is how, someone is asking how Vishwanath Thakur is writing this. So all those pastimes are revealed in their heart. It's like a television. They can see while they are far, far situated. This is Sarahasyam. This is a Prema Bhakti. Okay, this is how we can realize the Lord. Okay, yes, please.
The Lord can award anyone and everyone liberation, mukti, from the bondage of material existence. Yet he really awards the privilege of love of Godhead as confirmed by Narad. Muktim dadati karachit smana bhakti yoga. This transcendental devotional service of the Lord is so wonderful that the occupation keeps the deserving devotee always wrapped in psychological activities without deviation from the absolute touch. Thus, love of Godhead, developed in the heart of the devotee, is a great mystery. Brahmaji previously told Narada that the desires of Brahmaji are never unfulfilled because he is always absorbed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, nor has he any desire in his heart save and except the transcendental service of the Lord. That is the beauty and mystery of the process of Bhakti Yoga.
You know where it is said? It is said in 6th chapter, 2.6.34. Na bharti me angam nisha uplakshati. And Brahma is saying to Narad, whatever I say becomes truth. Because my mind is always engaged in serving the Lord. Okay. So that is Prabhupada is translating this. As a Lord's desire.
As the Lord's desire is infallible because he is Achyuta. Similarly, the desires of the devotees in the transcendental service of the Lord are also Achyuta, infallible. This is very difficult, however, for the layman to understand without knowledge of the mystery of devotional service, as it is very difficult to know the potency of touchstone.
Wonderful purport, yes.
As touchstone is rarely found, the pure devotee of the Lord is also rarely to be seen even amongst millions of liberated souls, Kotishrapi Mahamuni. But of all kinds of perfections attained by the process of knowledge, yoga perfection and devotional service is the highest of all and the most mysterious also. Even more mysterious than the 8 kinds of mystic perfection attained by the process of yogic performances. In the Bhagavad Gita 18.64, the Lord therefore advised Arjuna about this Bhakti Yoga. Sarva guhetamam guhoya shruname paramam vacham. Just hear from me again about the most confidential part of the instructions in Bhagavad Gita. The same was confirmed by Brahmaji to Narada in the following words. Idam Bhagavatam namayan me bhagavatodetam Sangrahoyam vibhutinam tam etad vipulikul. Brahmaji said to Narad, whatever I have spoken to you about the Bhagavatam was explained to me by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I am advising you to expand these topics nicely so that people may easily understand the mysterious Bhakti Yoga by transcendental loving service to the Lord. It is to be noted here that the mystery of Bhakti Yoga was disclosed to Brahmaji by the Lord himself. Brahmaji explained the same mystery to Narad, Narad explained it to Vyasa, Vyasa explained it to Shukadeva Goswami, and that same knowledge is coming down in the unalloyed chain of disciplic succession. If one is fortunate enough to have received the knowledge in the transcendental disciplic succession, surely he will have the chance to understand the mystery of the Lord and that of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the sound incarnation of the Lord.
Yeah. So, loving devotional service, Prema Bhakti is very, very mysterious. Very mysterious. Okay. So in the loving, the devotee has got the love for Krishna, so his desires also remain infallible. Whatever he desires gets completed. Narad Muni told Nalkubar and Manigriv, you will be delivered by Krishna in the courtyard of Nand Maharaj. He didn't ask Krishna before giving this benediction. He said it, it was done. So that's how, this is the mystery. It's very good. Okay. So we can also, in the disciple section, we also have this fortune. We can also get this love of Krishna. That is the aim of our life. Okay. So there are 3 verses of Chatushloki Bhagavatam. The 4th verse is very detailed, so we won't be able to cover it now. Any questions, Prabhu? Or any comments? Yeah.
Even the 3rd verse.
Yeah.
Like when we read the verse and translation, how we understand that it is about devotional service. Because it doesn't look like.
Yeah.
When we read translation, so how we understand.
Yeah, that's why we need the purports, It doesn't look like. When we read the translation, Prabhu just saying, I am inside and outside as the material elements are inside and outside. Who can see that? Only by Prema Bhakti. An impersonalist or materialist won't be able to see that Lord is everywhere, inside and outside. But only by Prema Bhakti Sar Hasyam, he will be able to see this. Okay. So one who is affected by Mahamaya, he won't be able to see that. But one who is affected by Yogamaya, he can see this. This is how he deals with Mahamaya. He covers up, he remains detached, and the Yogamaya, he remains attached. He reveals to his devotees that he is everywhere. And Vishwanath Thakur gave different angle. Same thing, different perspective. Yeah. Anyone else? Clear? 3 verses we have covered. Who can summarize all the 3 verses in their own words? I would like to summarize your understanding of the 3 verses. Same Chatushloki Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada has covered in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Adi Leela 1st chapter, verse 51 to 55 something. And in conversation with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Prakashanand Saraswati, in the 25th chapter of Madhya Leela also. I'll give you the verses tomorrow. So there also Prabhupada is comment. In Adi Leela commentary is there. Okay. Yes, who would like to express their understanding of these 3 verses in their own words?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Brahmaji asked 4 questions.
Yeah.
That is, what is the material, what is Lord's material form and spiritual form?
Yeah.
How his energy works? How we play with his energy like external and internal energy? How Brahmaji instrumentally to generate living entities without being conditioned by such activities?
Yes, very good.
So the 4 questions asked by Brahmaji, and reply to those answers, this Chatushloki Bhagavatam came. And the first 33 number verse, here Brahmaji is telling that
Krishna is telling
that aham eva samagagre. Before this creation I was there, my pastimes was there, my activities were there, my interests were there, everyone is there, but I was there, I performed everything. So at the end was I will be there. That is the first thing, first verse.
And in between?
In between.
After the creation?
After Paschadham.
Paschadham.
After the creation I will be there.
In the creation also I am there.
Yes, I am there.
In what forms Krishna is there in the creation? In what forms? And Paramatma. Paramatma. Yeah. Okay.
Then 34 verse. Then says 34 verse how his energy works.
Yeah.
Like his material energy and his material energy and his spiritual energy, how it is working. That Krishna is telling to Brahmaji. Then this verse replies.
Now how it's working?
Spiritual energy and material energy.
How they are working? Yeah.
Like the Mahatattva is coming from Mahatattva Pradhan Vidya Avidya, that is material energy, Mahamaya. And from that Avidya, you explain that Prakshapatika, Avaranatmika.
Yeah.
Then Vidya, that shows light.
Yeah.
But they are not devotional service.
Yes.
Devotional service is by Yogamaya.
Yeah.
And the Lord's activities in the spiritual world due to the Yogamaya, and Lord's activities in the material due to Mahamaya.
No, yeah. Mahamaya facilitates
Mahamaya facilitates this
conditioned soul's desires.
and Yogamaya facilitates the Lord's Krishna's desire.
Yeah. Okay.
Then this verse here 30.
And Prabhupada explained how many kinds of illusions. What are those?
I am supreme.
Body, okay. Brahm Satya Jagat Mithya, independent, yes. Brahm Satya Jagat Mithya, Lord is formless, Lord has no forms. Okay. All these Prabhupada refuted. Okay. Yes. And 35th verse.
35th verse is explaining about how Lords play with the external energy and internal energy. In this way, Vishwanath is telling that the Lord is attached to his devotees and he is detached to
Mahamaya. Just like the elements
like
are.
the sky and wind you explained. Similarly, the Lord is sky and wind is matter; they are not conscious. But the Lord is conscious. Even he is conscious, but he is detached.
Yeah. So inside and outside, but remains detached. But for devotees, he is very attached.
Yes.
So he reveals himself to the devotees. So all those activities of spiritual kingdom are revealed in the heart of a loving devotee, like a television. Right? Okay. Right. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yeah.
Like in Chatushloki Gita, we see there is some Abhiday and Prayojans.
Yeah.
So in this also.
Yeah, I'm saying, and the first two verses are telling about Sambandh. The third verse is about what? Prayojan, Prema Bhakti. And the fourth verse is about Abhideya, Tadangam, Sadhana Bhakti. Right? Right? Okay. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow I think we'll have to wind up early because I have a train at 6:30 or so. Till 5:30 we'll have, no? So we'll start at 12 to 2, and then we can start immediately after 3. Can we start at 3? 3 to 5:30? Difficult?
Before 12 also we can.
Achha. You prefer that way? 12 to 2 and then 3 to 5. 12 to 2 and 3 to 5:30. I think we'll do. This we'll go to cover in the morning session. We'll complete this chapter, and in the evenings, the afternoon session, we'll complete the 10th chapter. Okay, the major discussion was this only. Then no, so much. Thank you so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Go Premanande.